Just past high noon in the Alamo City as we get set for kickoff. The Marcus Marauders and the Roosevelt Rough Riders. 5A Division II state championship on the line, and everybody's hoping that their Christmas includes a state title here. Marcus, the visiting team, has won the toss and is elected to receive, and they will receive from the north end, moving north to south. And coach, we got a little bit of a breeze coming out of the north today as we look at Brian Dowson, the head coach of the Roosevelt Rough Riders.
Yeah, it's kind of an interesting decision. Usually teams will defer their choice to the second half, but Marcus wanted the football, and Roosevelt made the decision to kick into the wind a little bit, but they want that wind apparently in the second quarter. So again, Marcus, that confidence in their offense, want to get on that board early.
Brian Dowson's done an excellent job, as has Q Britton, the head coach of the Marauders, who took over this program from the start. In the mid-'80s, was an assistant under current Lewisville ISD athletic director Neil Wilson at Lewisville High, and the only coach the Marauders have ever known. Ready to kick off to start today's game, Gilbert Maldonado, and back deep to receive for the Marauders. We're underway, and the kick is caught by Aaron Wright, who put a knee down at the 11-yard line. And Wright went down to one knee to field it, and that's where the Marauders will start, deep in their own end of the field.
Well, an early mistake. Watch his knee go down and touch the ground right there. The ball is down in high school football and college football.
There's Chris Sanders, who is just 154 yards away from becoming the all-time leading passer in Texas high school football history. Tremendous numbers as he brings the Marauders to the line. First play of the game, they will spread the field. You'll see wide receivers all over the field. They'll start with 3 on one side and 1 on the left. And right out of the gate, Sanders to throw, and that's his favorite target, Billy Miller, who catches it for about a 5-yard gain out to the 16-yard line before he was brought down by LaJohnson McGowan, the sophomore defensive tackle. Marauders offense, Sanders at quarterback, Stephen Ennis, good sophomore running back, and any manner of receivers, and he'll use all of them. Aaron Wright, Jason Luce, Billy Miller, who just caught that pass, and Miles Kuhn, Bo Barnett, Brian Gaither, Bryce Adams, Keith Moore, Danny Meehan, your offensive line. Second down and 5, Marauders from the 16. From the shotgun. And Sanders again across the middle, and that's good enough for a first down as he goes to Miles Kuhn, the tight end. Michael Hunter, the senior inside linebacker, made the tackle for Roosevelt, but Kuhn becomes the second receiver in as many passes.
Back. The key to this, though, look at the pass protection. He's got the offensive linemen have been taught to pass block. The protection was great. He had plenty of time to find out Coons, who was in man-to-man coverage.
Works for 11 yards and a first down to the 27. Again, 3 receivers to one side, 1 on the left. And here's Stephen Ennis with running room and a first down. Ennis out over the 40 to the 43-yard line goes Ennis. The monster back, Robert Haynes, and the inside linebacker, Marlon Lucky, made the tackle. It's a 13-yard gain.
Well, they caught Roosevelt in a blitz. You can see all the blitzing linemen. Once he got through the line, there wasn't anybody there but secondary people. Hence a great game, and that's one of the problems you have. You start running people, that one remaining back just needs a little bit of a gap, and he can pick up 8-10 yards a pop.
Ennis stepped out just shy of the 40-yard line. First and 10. From the shotgun, flag goes down, and so does Sanders at the 34. McGowan, the tackle, made the sack. There was a flag right as the snap started the play.
Well, Roosevelt's going to be offside. They're going to wind up with first down and 5. It was a free play for Marcus. The defensive right end just leaned and went across the line of scrimmage.
Might have been Erik Flowers on the strong side as you see the offsides indication. Here's the Roosevelt Rough Rider defense on the line. Erik Flowers, the strong side end, and Dwayne Missouri, the weak side defensive end. Matt Stoles, the defensive tackle. LaJohnson McGowan, the sophomore, at nose guard. Tim Gardner, the rover back, and Robert Haynes, the monster back, flank the inside linebackers. Marlon Lucky on the strong side. Michael Hunter, the weak side backer. In the secondary, the corners, Kendrick Patterson and Michael Tellis, the free safety, Abdul Williams. It is first and 5 following the offside penalty against Roosevelt. Marcus just shy of the 45-yard line, just underway and scoreless here in the Division II state championship. Out to Miller, and Billy Miller Picks up 5 close to a Marcus first down at the 49-yard line. Michael Tellis brings him down, but this looks to be enough for another Marauder first down. Miller's already caught 2 passes.
Well, Miller is one of the top 20 all-super preseason Texas receivers. The soft hands, put those hands up in the air, catches the ball with his hands, and of course he's caught 72 of them going into this ball game. 5'11", 165-pound senior, runs about a 4.5, 4.6 40.
And of course Miller is Sanders' favorite possession target. The big play receiver for the deep route quite often is Aaron Wright.
Well, he's audible at the line of scrimmage. Looked like a check with me play. Look for Miller trying to get inside down the middle.
And immediately Sanders under the gun and brought down. A gang of Roosevelt Rough Riders bring him down inside the 40-yard line. Michael Hunter and Erik Flowers lead the charge. It's a loss of 10 on the play.
Well, that's what Roosevelt wants to do. They want to put the blitz. They want to put the pressure. Erik Flowers, we'll see him coming from the backside here, slips that block. Now Sanders has run away, nobody open, and you can see the great play that Erik Flowers made. Finally got some help from Mike Hunter.
A swarming Rough Rider defense that has been tough all season long. It is now 2nd down and 20. 9:25 to go in the quarter. Again from the shotgun. And Sanders in trouble again. And it was nearly intercepted. Almost picked up by Michael Hunter. And he would have had nothing but white lines and artificial turf all the way to the end zone, stopping him.
Well, that's the pressure. The way to stop it. You can see number 36. Again, Erik Flowers coming right in there. Now, Flowers is 6'5", 225-pounder, senior lineman, defensive lineman who has great speed and great quickness. Marcus is going to run past the ball. They better get somebody out there and put a helmet on that young man.
Now 3rd down and 20 Marauders. And Roosevelt will be coming again. Pump once. Sanders in trouble. And he's sacked again back at the 24. And it's LaJonta McGowan, the sophomore, who comes through with another big sack. They lose 15 on that play.
Well, but give Erik Flowers, again, the defensive end. This was set up to be a screen. Flowers is rushing from the left side of the screen. See him recognize the screen. He went out and took it away from him. There was no place for Sanders to go with the ball. 3 great plays on that defensive series by Erik Flowers.
Jason Luce will have to punt for the first time this afternoon. And back deep to receive the punt for the Rough Riders is Aubrey Herring. And Luce gets away a good kick with the wind at his back. Herring from his 34 sheds a couple of tacklers, takes it out to the 42, 8 yards on the return after the punt of 41 yards. Timeout, 8:24 to go in the first quarter. We're scoreless in the 5A Division II Texas Bowl. Roosevelt gets its first chance on offense when we come back.
Versus Spurs, live January 10th on Prime Sports.
In a perfect world, there's perfect toast, perfect grades, and the perfect job. There are no hassles in a perfect world, and nothing ever breaks. Of course, there are exceptions to every rule, which is why you'll be happy to know you'll now find the full line of dependable Maytag appliances at Best Buy. You'll also find no payments and no interest for 1 year on all Maytag appliances. The world's not perfect, but with hassle-free appliances now in the hassle-free store, it's awfully close.
Did you know that there are 30,134 pimples on a basketball? Or the common shoe size among the NBA players is 15? TNT knows because every Tuesday and Friday night we've got the NBA covered. In fact, while 97% of NBA players have never been in a shoe commercial, 100% will be on TNT this season. And that's why
nobody knows the NBA like TNT.
The NBA on TNT is brought to you locally by North Star Dodge.
Big 12 in 96 Prime Sports.
The Roosevelt Rough Riders get the ball on offense for the first time in this 5A Division II state championship. That's Jacob Rodriguez, the senior quarterback, with some good numbers through the air, especially for a team that does like to keep it on the ground, but he can throw it. 1st and 10, Riders from their 41-yard line. And Rodriguez scrambling on 1st down to throw. And it's through the hands of R-Shandy, incomplete. Shandy, of course, the outstanding running back who has rushed for nearly 2,000 yards. David Ellen, the sophomore linebacker, on the coverage. The offense for the Rough Riders, led by Rodriguez, the quarterback. R-Shandy, 1,992 yards rushing, and Terrell Haynes, the junior, completing the backfield. Gilbert Maldonado, Aubrey Herring, and Bobby Elsie, the tight end, complete the receiving core. George Andershock, Tommy Brooks, Gus Schmidt, Keith Hunter, Abel Trevino, the offensive line. 2nd down and 10. And this is Haynes, Terrell Haynes, for a couple out to the 44 and brought down at the 44-yard line. As you take a look at the Marcus Marauder defense, it's Steve Smith, the inside linebacker, who made the tackle. Charles Atchison and Chad Webster, the defensive end for the Marauders. Chad Tinsley, Andy Brown at the tackles. Tapley Holland, the rover, along with Robbie Gillum at one rover spot. David Ellen, Steve Smith, the inside linebackers. Chris Prater and Tad York are the corners. Wes Gray, the safety. 3rd down and 8. Rodriguez in some trouble, and he's sacked, and the defense is really making their case early on. And it's sophomore defensive players. LaJonta McGowan for Roosevelt, David Ellen for Marcus.
Well, it's a rollout pass to the, want to go to the right, but good upfield penetration. You can see number 43 there making that great, David Ellen making a great penetration to force the play, force the quarterback to pull up short.
David Ellen is a tight end on offense, but he's really made his presence known on defense. Tremendous inside linebacker, having a great postseason. And now Rodriguez to punt. Jacob Rodriguez to kick into the wind, a knuckler, and it hit one of the Rough Riders. It looked like it around the 40-yard line, and it's down by the Marauders. Timeout with 6:53 remaining in the first quarter. So far, the defenses have dominated this 5A Division II Texas Bowl, scoreless from Alamo Stadium.
You ever hear anyone talk about life like you gotta chew it up and spit it out? You gotta want it so bad you can taste it. You gotta be hungry. If so, Gatorade has one question for you. You want something to drink with that? Because you're gonna be thirsty. Life is a sport. Drink it up.
This fall, discover something really important.
New sights. New ideas. New dinosaurs. Paleo World, Saturdays and Sundays on TLC.
Scoreless here at Alamo Stadium as we play near the midway point of the first quarter. Craig Way, Ed Biles, Kevin Eschenfelder with you from San Antonio. The Rough Riders of Theodore Roosevelt High School at home against the Marcus Marauders of Flower Mound. On the draw, 1st down, and this is Eric Bunn, the senior running back, brought down by Erik Flowers after a gain of 5. Coach Marcus will shuttle in the one back that they have in the offense, whether it's Stephen Ennis or Eric Bunn. It's Bunn in this case.
Well, you can see that was just a draw play where the tackle released the defensive lineman going upfield. Flowers went upfield, but he also recovered to make the tackle. But you see, running backs don't get that much attention. Bunn averaging 7.6 yards a carry, and Ennis 6.2. So their running backs should pick up some yardage.
He gets 5 on that one. It's 2nd down and 5. Marcus. Again to the draw, and again Bunn, but not nearly as successful this time. Maybe a half yard, and that was about it before he was brought down after being popped by LaJonta McGowan.
Well, they tried to pull a backside guard and tackle, bring him across behind the center and wanted to lead up through the field. But again, this is a big defensive front now for Roosevelt. Flowers is 225, Stoltz is 235, McGowan is 230, and Missouri is 230. So you're running against a big front four.
Dwayne Missouri helping out on that last tackle. It is 3rd down and about 5.5 for the 1st down. After pumping, the pass is incomplete. tipped as Sanders tried to go downfield, and it was McGowan once again. LaJonta McGowan, just a sophomore, Ed, has been a factor on these first 2 series for the Rough Riders defensively.
So far, they've been overpowering the offensive lineman of Marcus, and you can see there's nobody open downfield. McGowan got his hand up just as he was taught to do, made the tip, and Marcus will be forced to punt again.
230-pound sophomore, LaJonta McGowan.
It's big. That front 4 is huge for a high school football team.
Jason Luce ran into his dad last night. He's president of the Marcus Booster Club. They're down here in San Antonio. I'm very excited about the game. And the punt is fielded on the slide down at the 30-yard line. A flag comes down as well here, and I believe this may be a catch interference. It's 25 yards on the punt as the officials discuss what the infraction might be. I think this is maybe a violation on the catch against Marcus. Did not give the young man room enough, so the penalty will go against Marcus. We've got a timeout. 5:27 to go in the first quarter. Scoreless from Alamo Stadium.
The 1996 Cotton Bowl, New Year's Day. The Colorado Buffaloes, led by head coach Rick Neuheisel and quarterback John Hessler, have trampled all others for a coveted place in Dallas, Texas. Their opponents, the Oregon Ducks, building on last year's Rose Bowl appearance, they continue to assert their power in the Pac-10. Come watch 2 of the nation's most dynamic teams battle for one of college football's major prizes. Be a part of the Cotton Bowl tradition. Order your tickets today. Call 214-638-BOWL. Welcome to the Prime Pro Shop Sports Hotspot, the superstore for sports fans. Hey, football fans, the season is finally here, and you can show your support by wearing your favorite team's authentic jersey. These official NFL Pro Line jerseys by Wilson Athletic are the same jerseys worn by the players on the field, complete with the player's name and number, stripes, team logos, and the NFL shield. Choose from any of your favorite NFL players from any NFL team. For a limited time, these can be yours for only $99.95 plus $6.50 shipping and handling. These jerseys sell for as much as $159.95 in stores, but can be yours today for only $99.95. Have your Visa or MasterCard ready and call 1-800-998-4342. These authentic jerseys are great for any football fan and make great gifts too. So call 1-800-998-4342 right now for the Prime Pro Shop and hit the spot.
Well, there aren't any bad seats in Alamo Stadium, but some folks have their own idea about how to view the 5A Division II Texas Bowl. Great seats, eh, buddy?
Freeloaders.
1st and 10, Rough Riders, and here's Richard Shandy. And look at Shandy move. Turns that into about a 7-yard gain. Out to the 42-yard line as you see the shifty moves of senior running back Richard Shandy.
Well, you certainly can see on that one right there shows you why he's averaging 200 yards, over 200 in his playoff game. There's nothing out here. Makes a little move up, hit there, breaks away, gives a little hip movement there. Finally, picks up about 7 yards on a play that looked like it might make 1 or 2.
2nd down and 3, Roosevelt, as the Rough Riders look for their 1st down on the ground, and they're going to get it. Shandy again into Marauder territory at the 48-yard line. That's a gain of 9 yards. Richard Shandy has the Rough Riders on the move.
Well, they jumped into an unbalanced line. See, only 2 linemen to the left of the center, going to the right side. Good lead block by Terrell Haynes. Good block by Elsie, the tight end, and Trevino, the offensive right tackle, opened up that hole, and a 1st down for the Rough Riders.
You see how those offensive linemen just hold on to those blocks. They maintain them well. 1st down and 10. The ball at the 49-yard line of Marcus. Shandy for the 3rd straight carry. This time he goes backward. And the Marauders were all over him. Chad Webster, the defensive end, leading the assault.
Well, there was great penetration, though. Get upfield. Watch the defensive lineman get upfield right there. Number 54, Andy Brown, made that play. Webster got the tackle, but Andy Brown made the penetration, got up the gap, forced him to slow down and stopped, and then Webster was able to make the tackle. Lots of times that guy who makes the key part of the play doesn't get the recognition.
First man who changes the direction of the play, and that direction went backwards, 4 yards in the loss. 2nd and 14, Roosevelt. past Rodriguez. A lot of time. Now he's going to tuck it in. And in trouble. Nice move by Rodriguez. Got it back to the 49 and actually picked up a couple more beyond that. It should be a makeable third down situation. 3rd and about 8 after a 7-yard gain.
No one was open and scrambled around. And I'll tell you what he's going to do. He's going to pick up a great block by Michael Baxter. Watch the wide receiver come back in right there and get that block that opened up for him to get that extra, about 6 or 7 yards that he would not have made if Michael Baxter, the wide receiver, didn't do his job.
3rd down and about 7 needed for the first down for Roosevelt at the Marcus 47. Option play this time. Not enough for the first down as the Marauders hit him. And the first man to get to him was senior defensive end Charles Atchison. It's a gain of 2, and it'll bring up 4th down for the Rough Riders.
Give David Ellen some credit here. This is a down-the-line option. Now Ellen goes upfield, makes penetration. C-43 forcing to cut back. He didn't get credit for the tackle, but he was the one who forced the play to cut back.
A very helpful Marauder defense.
And that's what it takes. People sometimes see the guys make the spectacular play and the guy who makes the tackle, but they don't realize that someone else has done a great job for that to happen.
Rodriguez to punt. And Mark Duffield back to receive it. And a booming kick into the wind, and this thing may die.
He was in the he had his foot in the They got a great break.
They're going to mark that down at the 2-yard line. Tim Gardner got down on the ball, and they'll mark it inside the 2-yard line. It goes as a 42-yard punt.
Take a look. Take a look at his. This is a good punt, obviously. But the man downfield, I believe his foot was in the end zone. Take a look. See if we got a good look at it. Right there, he's got his foot on the ball. Now well, you can't tell by the line there, but I believe that his left leg was across that white line from the angle I had here.
Marauders bring it to the line of scrimmage now, starting from their own 2-yard line. Great play downfield. He was able to keep his feet in bounds over the middle and caught at the 10-yard line. Quick gain of 8 to Miles Kuhn, the tight end. Tonight at 7 o'clock on Prime Sports, it's NHL action from Reunion Arena as the Dallas Stars take to the ice against division rival Chicago. Don't miss the battle between the Stars and the Blackhawks tonight at 7, live on Prime Sports. Quick gain of 8. It'll be 2nd down. Chris Sanders. Not bad numbers starting out after the catch by Kuhn. And for the first down for the Marauders, straight ahead goes Stephen Ennis, the sophomore running back.
He did a good job on 2 plays getting that ball out of the hole, though. Straight ahead, man-on-man blocking. Following the offensive center and right guard. Tried a little wedge block right up through the middle. Good job by Bryce Adams, Brian Gaither, and Bo Barnett on the left side of the offensive line. Coach Britton says that's a lot better. That's more like our football team, controlling the line of scrimmage.
Inside 90 seconds to play first quarter, still scoreless. And Sanders to throw again. And incomplete. Excellent coverage in the secondary by Kendrick Patterson, the right corner, on the very dangerous Aaron Wright to knock it away.
Boy, the junior defensive back did a great job closing on the ball. Looks like Wright is open. You see Wright making a move to the inside, and he's going to break to the outside. Now there's some separation, but watch Patterson close on the ball. That's great, a great defensive back play there. Moving on them when the ball is thrown and been able to close ground.
2nd down and 10, Marcus. They'll spread the field with 2 receivers to the top of your screen and 1 to the bottom. Sanders wanting to throw. Under pressure again. Got it away to Miles Kuhn, the tight end, and it's a first down. Kuhn out to the 36. The Rover, Tim Gardner, finally ran him out of bounds, but it goes for 18 yards and a first down for Marcus.
Boy, what a great job by Chris Sanders of having poise. No one's open. Pockets breaking down, scrambles around, still looks downfield, completes the pass to Miles Kuhn. Great job by the quarterback there.
Chris Sanders has the Marauders now on the move. They started this drive from their own 2-yard line. And the inside draw this time to Ennis. Stephen Ennis out to the 42 and a gain of 6. Lucky and Hunter, the inside linebackers, on the tackle.
Sanders showing great poise. Now that time Roosevelt showed that they were going to blitz, which they did. Sanders calling some plays and doing an awful lot audible. He's calling a lot of plays which say check with me in the huddle, goes up the line of scrimmage, checks out the defense, and then makes a call at the line of scrimmage. Here's a check with me play. He wasn't in the huddle long enough, so he's going to call this play at the line of scrimmage, Craig.
He'll look from the shotgun on second down and about 4 needed. The throw again. Pressure coming one more time. And the pass is incomplete. Too high. Well covered by the Riders secondary. Kendrick Patterson and Robert Haynes back on coverage for Roosevelt.
Well, once again, Erik Flowers putting some pressure. And good coverage downfield. You see it, take a look, stand with him. And that's why there was no one open. That's why the sack was caused by that coverage. Look at the people in the dark jerseys in that area.
Third down and a long 5 needed for a Marcus first down, and the Roosevelt fans are chanting, hold them, hold them. They come to their feet here with 10 seconds remaining in the quarter. Sanders, pressure coming. Pass is picked off at the 45. Interception made by Erik Flowers, the defensive end, who leaped up to pull it down, and the first turnover of the game goes the way of the Riders.
Well, what else can Flowers do today? Again, you can see the penetration. You can see the pressure put on. He throws the ball. Sanders throws the ball up for grabs, and Flowers with a big interception. Look at the pressure. Look at the people all around. Good pressure there. Good pressure again. He throws the ball where he thinks the receiver is going to be, but Flowers were there for the interception. Was there for the interception.
This should be the final play of the first quarter as the Riders start the drive in Marcus territory. On the option keeper, it's Rodriguez. Broke off a couple tackles and picks up a gain of about 4 yards. That's the end of the first quarter from Alamo Stadium in San Antonio. The 5A Division II Texas Bowl scoreless between Flower Mound Marcus and San Antonio Roosevelt.
Everything's bigger in Texas, and nothing's larger in the Lone Star State than high school sports. Prime Sports High School Extra and host Craig Wade bring all the action right into your living room.
On the Extra, Sundays at 9:30 and 6:30, only on Prime Sports.
Dial up BET, Channel 33. Brought to you by your radio station, 96.1. Chasing waterfalls. 96.1. And by Benson Automotive World, selling Chevrolet, Isuzu, Honda, Mazda, Chrysler, Plymouth, Jeep, Eagle, and Nissan. Dial up BET. Keep looking.
In a perfect world, there's perfect toast, perfect grades, and the perfect job. There are no hassles in a perfect world, and nothing ever breaks. Of course, there are exceptions to every rule, which is why you'll be happy to know you'll now find the full line of dependable Maytag appliances at Best Buy. You'll also find no payments and no interest for 1 year on all Maytag appliances. The world's not perfect, but with hassle-free appliances now in the hassle-free store, it's awfully close.
You want action? See who's holding court. Check out the history. Hear the talk. Take the inside look and experience the countdown. Feel the action. NBA action. Tuesdays at 6 on Prime Sports.
We begin the second quarter from Alamo Stadium. That's Brian Dawson, head coach of the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Second year as head coach of the Riders. Has really fashioned a strong coaching staff and quite a team. Dawson played offensive line at Texas A&M. His brother, Doug Dawson, former Aggie lineman as well. First and 10, Riders. Or second down, rather. Excuse me, second and 6. And it's Shandy on the run, getting it close to the first down. Picks up more than 5, and the Rover, Robbie Gillum, brings him down. This is very close to a first down.
Well, Brian do what most everyone would like to do, coaching at the high school he graduated from. Inside the lead play, nothing is there, so he breaks it to the outside. Shandy showing you his ability to see with good vision. Finds no hole inside, so he picks it up outside and comes close to the first down.
They will measure to see if it's enough. Cool, windy day here. Just 2 days before Christmas. And they will measure and see that it is enough.
You know, Craig, it seemed like the wind has even died down a little bit since the game has started. Those flags down on the ends are not blowing like they were earlier, and actually the weather is probably a little better than what we really anticipated a day or so ago.
It looked like it was going to be very breezy and perhaps even some rain, but all we've had is just some clouds in the sky. And good afternoon, especially for mid-December.
Roosevelt got great field position now to start this second quarter.
From the Marauder 35-yard line. Scoreless, but Roosevelt with its deepest penetration of the game so far. And that's Shandy again in some trouble. And just back to the line of scrimmage, Atchison and Ellen make the tackle for Marcus. Shandy trying to find the alleyway, a little bit frustrated.
Well, you see a good job, though, defensively, Marcus. They're sliding down the line of scrimmage. See the defensive players sliding down. Holland got upfield, forced it back to the inside, and tackles made by Atchison.
Second down, he actually lost about a half yard as you look at Tapley Holland, the roving linebacker. Those linebackers on the outside, Holland and Gillum, get all over the field. Off the play fake. That's knocked down. It was intended for Elsie, the tight end, but Steve Smith, the senior linebacker, got an arm up in the air and batted it away.
He jumps up. Did he get this with his hands or his face? Yep, right. Looked like it almost went off his face mask. Good job by Steve Smith recognizing that play. That's a senior linebacker. Good size, 6'1", 218-pounder.
Third down now, and close to 11 needed for Roosevelt first down. Gilbert Maldonado, one split receiver, along with Aubrey Herring. Rodriguez to throw on the run, and this is Shandy. Short of the first down as he got it down to about the 26-yard line. Gillum on the tackle for Marcus, and now it brings up fourth down. And about 1.5 yards needed for a first down.
Well, I think he originally wanted to go deep. Comes off the play, gets it into Shandy, and again, Shandy showing why he's a great back, also a receiver. He had over 2,300 all-purpose yards coming into this ball game, and I got a feeling that Dawson will go for this here on this fourth down.
The fans certainly like this decision.
Well, they like it unless you don't make it. Unless you don't make it, then they don't like it.
Fourth and about 1.5 yards for Roosevelt. Shandy on the call.
Depending on the spot.
I don't think he got it from where they are marking, apparently. David Ellen, the sophomore linebacker, with some help on the tackle for Marcus from Robbie Gillum.
Well, I think he got about a football longer than what I thought it was going to be, so it's going to be close. I'm kind of like you. I don't think that he made it. I'm going on a limb and say he didn't make it.
It is really close. They actually even, the spot was even a little more generous than I thought it might be, but this is real close.
It'll be a big defensive stop for the Marauders. I don't think it should.
Boy, that close to not being the first down, and the Marauders will take over. Timeout with 10:05 to go in the first quarter. Marcus gets the football back, scoreless in the 5A Division II Texas Bowl from San Antonio.
Mobil 1 sweeps out 95 with a giant year-end clearance. Everything on sale, nothing held back. Save on everything at every Mobil 1 from now through New Year's Day. Get a Motorola cellular phone free with Houston Cellular activation and get a 3-day cruise for 2 on the Big Red Boat. But hurry, this is the final week for this incredible offer. No finance charges till April next year. Everything's on sale now through New Year's Day at your mobile electronics super specialist. Mobil 1.
Back here in San Antonio, and take a look at the defensive pursuit on this play, Ed.
Well, look at the job of the defensive left end. Watch Chad Webster, number 80, attack the tackle. Doesn't give any ground. He slides off the block. He gets up and stops the play right there. Just a great job by Webster at the point of attack. Good job by David Ellen sliding in behind it and making the tackle.
Chad Webster getting the encouraging words from the Marcus assistant coaches, and it's 1st and 10 Marauders from the Marcus 25. 10 minutes plus remaining first half and no score. On the draw play, this is Bunn, and Bunn for nearly 5 out to the 30-yard line. Dwayne Missouri, the defensive end, makes the tackle for the Rough Riders.
And once again, you can see Sanders working that line of scrimmage. You just watch his head when he's up here changing and talking. The straight ahead draw play here now. Try to bring the backside right guard, try to come across and make a little trap out of it. And he picked up good 5 yards on that play.
On second down, back in the shotgun for the Marauders, Chris Sanders, who has completed 6 of his first 11 passes, wants to throw. And gets away a pass to throw it away. There's nobody there, and it might have been a confusion on the route as he was trying to connect with Josh Cook or just threw it away. Sanders completed his first 4 passes for 34 yards. In his last 8 now, he is 2 out of 8 for 27 yards and an interception.
Well, you can see why he threw it away. Look at the coverage. You got 4 working against 3 over there from the Roosevelt defensive standpoint. He just threw that one away as the protection was beginning to break up. Coaches, I'm sure, told him, don't throw into coverage, just throw it away, take the wasted down.
This is the best defensive coverage that Chris Sanders has seen all season, I can tell you that. Third down, and Sanders lost the football. Marcus got it back, but it's a big loss back to the 20-yard line. The senior center, Bryce Adams, saved the Marauder turnover.
Don't tell me that's Erik Flowers again making another big play. Take a look. They better find out where 36 is. Stick somebody on you. There comes 36. There he is, forcing the fumble again. That young man right now is on the way to the MVP of this game.
Jason Luce prepares to punt again as he stands on his 6-yard line. And back deep to receive the kick for Roosevelt is Aubrey Herring. Here comes the pressure. Kick is away, and Herring lets it bounce. And it'll roll out of bounds at the 41-yard line. That goes as a 39-yard punt with no return. We have no score here from Alamo Stadium. The 5A Division II state championship on the line. Marcus and Roosevelt.
Michael Jordan. To find what you desire requires a great effort. You look thirsty. Gatorade?
Thanks. I've come.
I know why you have come. You wish to know the meaning of life.
And?
Life is a sport. Drink it up.
That's what I figured.
Every now and then, somebody in Texas grows up to be famous. To get a fair shot at life, babies need critical immunizations against dangerous diseases. Vaccines are safe and effective. So see your doctor or public health clinic and immunize your little Texan by 2. In Texas, every child is somebody famous.
You've called us heroes, Houston. But we see you out there. You, the ones who do all the working and sweating and living and dying. The ones who really have the heart. Who have the dreams. Yeah, we hear you calling us heroes. But hey, it takes one and no one. Houston Rockets. Without you, we'd just be another basketball team.
The Texas Bowl is brought to you in part by Bluebonnet Savings Bank, sponsor of the Team Behind the Team on High School Extra. And of course, you can see High School Extra here on Prime Sports, Sunday mornings 9:30, Sunday evening 6:30. And Brian Dawson and his Riders of TR in a scoreless game with the Marauders of Marcus. First down for Roosevelt, and it's Richard Shandy out from the 44, a gain of 3, tackled by Chad Tinsley. It'll bring up second down and 7 yards to go for the Rough Riders. As we said, this is the first state championship game played here since 1947. This stadium was built in 1940, and we'll get an opportunity to show you a little bit of what it looks like later on. It's constructed out of stone. It's probably a little cool today. Second down and 7. Shandy again, and this time Webster hung him up and brought him down. Shandy managed to stretch the football out to the 46, so it goes for a gain of a yard.
That was an unusual call. They came back to back basically with the same football play. They were in the backs were split, and the lead back was going to lead the play in there to block. Shandy was supposed to run this inside, try to dip it back to the outside. It was the same identical play they had ran the play before.
Third down now, and about 5 needed for Roosevelt first down with 7.5 minutes remaining in the first half. This time Rodriguez to throw. Off of the rollout in some trouble. Did get away from David Ellen. And it's incomplete. Ellen was on him, and Rodriguez did a good job to shake off the tackle, but as he tried to find the tight end Bobby Elzey, it goes incomplete, and now it's 4th down.
Well, you can see both these football teams, defensive staffs have done a great job defensing the plays that these teams run. They're really doing a good job. Someone's got to come up and make a big play, Craig, to get this ball game off this scoreless situation. Hugh Britton knows it, and so does Brian Dawson. Wait for someone to step up and make the big play.
On the punt one more time is Jacob Rodriguez. Mark Duffield back to receive it for the Marauders. And pressure coming again, but Rodriguez gets away. A high kick. Fair catch called for and made by Duffield at the 22-yard line. We've got 7:09 remaining in the first half. Still no score in the 5A Division II Texas Bowl.
Attention gardeners, now you can cut through tough, thick branches in seconds with Super Shears. The new ratcheting lever action pruning shears that give even soft, delicate hands tremendous cutting power. Watch and hear once again the powerful ratcheting lever action. Super Shears give you the strength you need to make fast, clean cuts without sore, tired, or blistered hands. Nothing stops Super Shears. Cut through things you never dreamed possible with ordinary clippers. Cut all day long without hand pain or strain. The new ratcheting lever action produces the power. The razor-sharp Teflon-coated blade provides the finest cutting edge. Together, they give you smooth, clean cuts that help plants heal fast. Call or send to Super Shears now and receive a quick guide to pruning trees, evergreens, bushes, and flowering plants. Look, the man on the left is using regular clippers to cut through this hardwood dowel. The boy on the right is using Super Shears. Look at him go. Proof positive that the power is in the Super Shears. Sir, try cutting that branch with regular clippers. Go ahead. Hurry up. What's the matter? Now try Super Shears. What do you think?
Incredible.
Prune all day, save your hands. Super Shears are not sold in stores. Call or send only $12.98 to Super Shears at this address now. You'll also get the illustrated guide, Pruning is Easy. Order more than one set of Super Shears and take $2 off every additional set you order. Order now.
Marcus and Roosevelt scoreless. Right now, let's head down to the sidelines to Kevin Eschenfelder with a Gatorade sideline update.
All right, standing by with the athletic director from the Northeast Independent School District, Jerry Comelander. It's been a magical year so far, hasn't it?
Kevin, it's been wonderful. Roosevelt has had an outstanding year for their school. It's just been a tremendous thing all the way around. Their community's gotten involved. And we're here, with 15,000 people in a great site and just a beautiful day to play a football game.
How important was it bringing the game to this storied old stadium?
Well, as far as the playing side is having an advantage for one team or the other, I don't think it makes any difference. But as far as our community and being able to stay home and come to see a ball game, I think it was very important.
Great, Jerry. We appreciate you stopping by.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right, back upstairs, Craig.
Thank you very much, Kevin. And of course, Jerry Comelander, one of the outstanding gentlemen as well as outstanding past years here in the San Antonio area. Runs great athletic department, Northeast ISD. After the game on first down for Marcus, here is the fullback. And Stephen Ennis, the sophomore running back, has a first down for the Marauders as he takes it out to the 38-yard line. Haynes and Gardner on the tackle. It's a gain of 12 and a first down for the Marauders. Ennis on the carry, and a lot of talented sophomores in this game on both sides of the field. 6:23 remaining in the first half. Again, Ennis takes it for a couple. Marcus keeping it on the ground here, and everybody's expecting this team to open it up and throw the football a lot. That goes as a 4-yard gain.
Well, I got a feeling that Cody Vanderford, the offensive coordinator for Marcus, is trying to maybe settle Sanders down a little bit. He's seen some things that he's having little problems with. The pressure has been a little bit more than maybe they anticipated. If you can get a little rhythm into the running game and then get back into some of those quicker passes, why maybe they'll get their offense rolling.
Second down and 6, Marauders. Sanders from the shotgun. The throw for Kuhn, and Miles Kuhn with the first down in the Roosevelt territory. Down to the 47 as he shook loose of the monster back Robert Haynes for 11 yards.
Well, this is a good example of Sanders' ability to throw the ball. Kuhn was covered pretty good. As you can see, Haynes is right out there by him. He just reached out and got the ball, and the ball had to be thrown perfect for that completion.
Miles Kuhn, the tight end, has already been on the receiving end of 3 Chris Sanders passes.
They've done a good job of trying to take Billy Miller, his favorite receiver, out of the ballgame by doubling up on him a lot.
From the Ryder 48, back on the ground to Ennis. And maybe a yard, but nothing more than that. LaJonta McGowan and Robert Haynes make the tackle.
Well, the interesting thing so far that every time one of the teams makes a play that picks up a little bit of yardage, immediately the defensive staff makes an adjustment and the defensive team makes an adjustment. The next time they come back and run the play, it just hasn't been there.
Second down now. And really closer to 10 needed for a first down. Sanders not in the shotgun this time. Does throw, and it is caught. Flag down. That's probably for pass interference. Miles Kuhn made the catch on Abdul Williams, the free safety, and I think the flag was being thrown for pass interference anyway, Coach.
Well, I think it was too, but again, once again, this is showing you the passing ability of Sanders. The last 2 passes he completed, and let's see interference call against Roosevelt. The last 2 passes that he completed to Kuhn, there was absolutely excellent coverage by the defensive back. You can see right there that the defensive back, Abdul Williams, is right on top of the play there. Can't get much better coverage or closer coverage. In fact, he was so close it was interference, but that's a good job. Gives you a good idea of the ability of Sanders and also the ability of this defensive football team at Roosevelt.
The junior tight end, Miles Kuhn, has been Sanders' favorite target so far in the game. First and 10. After the first down to the 41-yard line. Sanders down the middle to Aaron Wright. And a first down deep in Roosevelt territory, just shy of the 20-yard line. 21 yards on the pickup.
Well, Wright has great speed. He got himself open that time down the middle. Wound up being in some zone coverage this time. You can see the linebacker dropping, looking for spots. Passing lane opens up. Wright got behind the linebackers and in front of the secondary, and now Marcus has a little drive going here.
They got a first down just outside the 20. Marauders with their deepest penetration of the game. Ennis on the ground for a couple. To the 19, and Hunter made the tackle. First time today that the Marauders have been inside the Roosevelt 20-yard line.
Just the first penetration of the game?
It is.
Doesn't make any difference in the playoff game, though, in the championship game, does it? There's co-champs that they wind up in a tie. We don't go by penetration.
The coaches have the option of using the penetration rule if they so choose, but the 2 coaches today have agreed that if we do have a tie, it will be called a co-championship.
There's a blitz.
And Sanders throws under the pressure. Haynes, the monster, back in on the blitz. Now brings up a third down and about 9 needed after Sanders was unable to away a heavy-duty pass.
I don't think he saw Haynes coming from the backside there. He had the man open. He just waited a little bit longer. I just think he was surprised a little bit by the backside corner blitz.
Third down and 9. Marauders have Wright as one split receiver, and they bring in Fred McKinney as another one.
The blitz again.
Sanders throws, and under pressure it's incomplete, but the pressure defense with the blitz coming is working for Roosevelt, and once again it's the monster back, Robert Haynes.
Well, we're calling the monster back, but basically the way this scheme is, it's a cornerback blitzing, and you don't see too many cornerbacks. The coverage behind him is pretty good, but he's got to shorten his route. And they've got to get the ball delivered a little bit quicker because Haynes is coming from a long way to get there, and he's having plenty of time to get there. The adjustment is quicker passes, slant passes, get inside.
Chris Prater is on to try a 37-yard goal out of the hold of Billy Miller. This kick has plenty of distance, and it's good. And we have our first score of this 5A Division II state championship game with 3.5 minutes to go in the first quarter. The Marcus passes get them downfield. The Roosevelt defense stiffens, and the Marauders settle for 3 points off the right leg of Chris Prater. The score is 3-0 Marcus, and let's go back down to Kevin Eschenfelder for another Gatorade sideline update.
All right, thanks a lot, Craig. Standing by with the Executive Director of the University Interscholastic League, Bill Farney. Great turnout today, and this seeing a couple of really good football teams, obviously. Now, this is the way, the show you want to put on.
That's right, Kevin. Great excitement out here today, and this is our Division II final. And they look at it as just the State 5A championship. And of course, the concept of the Texas Bowl coming into it brings a lot of excitement. I think I would be remiss if I didn't talk about our other programs. We are basically a fine arts and academic organization that have athletics as another facet of education. We actually have more students participating in our academics and fine arts, and significantly, a lot of the youngsters on the field will have participated in our academics and fine arts. So in those areas of excitement, you find youngsters excited about learning a fine piece of music, or being in a debate, or doing some significant research, or writing writing a poem or whatever, or reciting a poem. So we have our foundation in the curriculum, and we hope that what we do throughout the years, in fact since 1910, is that we enhance the curriculum in our public schools. So the league since 1910 has been there doing that, and we hope that we can continue to be a partner in education with the Texas Education Agency as one partner, the Texas Legislature, and of course all of our fine superintendents. I would like to pay tribute today to all the fine athletic coaches in the Texas High School Coaches Association because of the work that they do, and they really contribute to make youngsters have a meaningful experience and make a difference. It really helps.
Bill, I appreciate you stopping by. Happy holidays to you.
Thank you, Kevin.
All right, Craig, let's head back upstairs.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Varney and Kevin Eschenfelder. The return by Aubrey Herring gets it out to the 37-yard line, and it's where the Riders start this drive. Terrell Haynes breaks it for 6 on first down to the 43. I want to take the opportunity to say that it is an exciting new era in the University Interscholastic League under the leadership of Dr. Bill Farney as the executive director and Charles Breidup as the athletic director. Also, thanks to Pete Contreras and to Rachel Hendricks for their assistance throughout the year, and their assistance in helping us bring you this 5A Division II Texas Bowl. Second down and 4 after the 6-yard gain, and it's Haynes again for the first down into Marcus territory at the Marauder 47. Finally brought down by the safety, Wes Gray. It goes for 10.
Well, Haynes coming back in this ballgame, been off 3 weeks with an ankle injury. You can see what he adds to this attack. Lead block in there by Shandy. Coming inside, Haynes does a good job of picking the hole, finding the open spot, picks up first down. Roosevelt on the march now.
Riders trying to answer the Marauder field goal drive. And Rodriguez to throw with a blitz coming. Stepped away from it nicely, and Rodriguez turns this into a nice gainer. And a late flag comes for a late hit as well on Wes Gray, the safety. And they'll be tacking on 15 yards to a 5-yard gain.
Well, Rodriguez does this all on his own. It's supposed to be a play-action pass. He wants to come back, and he wanted to go deep down the left sideline, but the coverage was there. Escapes that tackle, gets out here now. Another miss. Now he's going downfield, and you're going to see the late hit as he attempts to go out of bounds.
They will add that from the 42. Jacob Rodriguez, not a big fella, but he does get around. 165-pound senior quarterback. 15 yards on the personal foul for the late hit against Wes Gray. And it's down to the 26-yard line of the Marauders. So Roosevelt marching right back down the field after the Marcus field goal.
And that's the first big penalty play of this ball game.
Shandy and Haynes, the running backs, split behind Rodriguez. Haynes again, down to the 24. Terrell Haynes has been the workhorse on this drive instead of Richard Shandy.
They've just switched positions. Shandy would be in the lead blocker. Somewhere along the line, watch for Jacob Rodriguez to fake that play and bootleg it running out there to the left by himself. He's a good runner in his own right.
Gain of a couple. Second down and 8. We're inside 2 minutes remaining in the first half. Now Roosevelt has all 3 of its timeouts remaining. Split receivers to either side of the field. Haynes one more time with running room inside the 20 to the 19. Smith, the senior linebacker, stops him after a 4-yard gain. It'll be 3rd and 4. Clock still moving, 1:35 remaining in the half.
Well, this is a methodical drive. This is what Roosevelt likes to do, control the ball, and what they wanted to do was control the ball against the high-powered Marcus passing attack. And right now they've got a good drive going. The clock will become a factor here pretty soon, though.
Rodriguez comes into the huddle as you see that Terrell Haynes has averaged 5 yards on his 5 carries. We get closer to a minute to go in the first half. 3rd down. Haynes one more time. Got the first down and more to the Marcus 10-yard line. 10 yards on the carry. Now, Ed, the clock certainly plays into this. We have 1:02 remaining in the half. And Roosevelt with all 3 of its timeouts.
Well, that's right. They have all 3 of the time. He does a great job of cutting back. His play was designed to go the outside. Marcus hustled a little bit too much. A lot of the white jerseys overran that play and allowed Haynes to cut it back.
That's the first 3rd down conversion of the game for Roosevelt. First down now from the 10-yard line. Shandy's turn for a couple to the 8. Clock moving. And now Roosevelt is going to ask for a timeout. Their first timeout. They've got 42 seconds remaining in the half.
They seem to have more success not running really outside laterally as much as when they've got the plays where they're running inside, tackle to tackle. They've had some pretty good success. Good pursuit by Marcus on stuff when they tried to run outside. Still plenty of time here. They've got 2 timeouts left.
And 42 seconds. Like to remind you that tonight at midnight on Press Box, you can catch our weekly tour of the locker rooms and front offices from around the world of sports and preview tomorrow's final regular season Sunday of the NFL. It's all tonight at midnight on Press Box, right here on Prime Sports.
Does that show what the pro players are doing at midnight? Is that what that show does at midnight?
I got a feeling they're going to visit with the pro players a little earlier than in the day. 3-0 Marauders on the 37-yard field goal.
See all those stars on those Roosevelt helmets. Sooner or later, you get a guy who has to have, I guess, a second helmet. There's 2 of them to carry all those stars.
You see a lot of guys have made some really big plays this year for the Rough Riders. And they want a bigger one here before the first half ends, a chance to take their first lead of the game if they can get it into the end zone. It will be 2nd down and goal to go. The ball from the 9-yard line, 42 seconds remaining in the half, and Roosevelt has 2 timeouts remaining. Jacob Rodriguez, the senior quarterback. Terrell Haynes on the carry. Haynes close to the 5-yard line, and Roosevelt will use its 2nd timeout. Chad Webster and Tapley Holland make the tackle for Marcus.
Yeah, that was a good example, Craig, of what I just said a little bit earlier. That was the same play where we made the big yardage. We started out and cut it back. This time, Marcus didn't overrun the play, so when he tried to cut it back, there was no big running room for him to be able to pick up big yardage. So big 3rd down play coming up here now in this football game.
And Brian Dowson will talk it over with Jacob Rodriguez as he comes over. And coming over then was Gilbert Maldonado to bring in the play. That's Maldonado, the junior wide receiver. He brings in the play to Rodriguez.
Well, I would think you'd see some type of rollout with Rodriguez's ability. I think you'll see some type of rollout option pass or run. I don't think we're going to see a straight drop back pass here.
3rd and goal from the 6 now with 34 seconds remaining in the half. Roosevelt converted its last 3rd down attempt, their first of the game.
Rodriguez took a look at the defense and then went back and talked to Haynes. There's the rollout that we talked about with the
now the throw into the end zone. Got Shandy open. It's incomplete. Shandy was back there, and also back there trying to receive the football for the Rough Riders was Andre Thurkild. Both players were back there. Tad York, the corner on the coverage, and Roosevelt will try to settle for a game-tying field goal.
Well, you see, it was a rollout. You can see the coverage down the end zone. Good job deep down there by the secondary of Marcus, and good play by everybody. Just couldn't quite get up there and catch the football.
That's the tight end, Bobby Elsie. Elsie was there, tried to come up with a catch, couldn't make it. And now on 4th down, Roosevelt tries to get a game-tying field goal from Rodriguez. This is a 23-yard attempt, and the kick is good. And with 23 seconds remaining in the first half, 22 now to be exact, we've got a 3-3 tie in the 5A Division II Texas Bowl. Each team with a late first half drive, each team having to settle for a field goal here.
Well, I think you're going to see a little more scoring in the second half because it looks like they've kind of, both teams have settled down. The last series here, both of them moved the ball. They didn't get it into the end zone, but they begin to get a little feel for what the other team's defense was doing. And sometimes it'll take that while, and they'll go into halftime and make a few more adjustments. I think we'll see some scoring in the second half. But you got two outstanding defensive football teams here.
Hugh Britton has shed the jacket, and it's probably right now the game not as comfortable as he would like to see it, as you see the big stick being hoisted by the Rough Rider faithful.
Well, we're talking about how good they are defensively. Roosevelt's defense has only given up 7.4 points a game, 112 for the entire season. You look at Marcus, they've given up 191, 12.7 points for the season. So you can see that both these defenses know what to do out there and how to keep their people from getting to the end zone. Neither one of them giving up a lot of yardage. Roosevelt only giving up 167 yards a game offensively, and Flywround Marcus only giving up 233. So the defenses are doing what they've been doing all season long.
Wind has kicked up again, and it blew the ball off the tee. And Gilbert Maldonado will re-tee the football as we get set. Eric Bunn is the deep man for Marcus here with 22 seconds remaining in the half. And the Marauders do have all three of their timeouts. A squibbed kick. Fielded. And on the reverse, it's Wright with running room. Aaron Wright, the last man who had a chance to get him perhaps, did just that. And that was Robert Haynes who knocked him down.
Well, that's what you call the kind of scissors reverse kickoff return. The man gets up in the middle and he turns his back to the defenders coming down, and you take a watch, see him right there. They're going to hand the ball. One guy could have given it to either one of them. This time he gave it to Wright, which forces those coverage men to stay in their lanes. They can't cut across. Only one man can get it. The ball could come to your side. It can go to the other side. So they kind of eliminate half the field with that return.
Well, the Marauders have only 15 seconds with which to work here in the first half. There was a penalty for offsides on the kickoff. Marcus declines it. Marauders do have all three of their timeouts, and they do operate from their 38. And Sanders will work from the shotgun. Sanders to throw the right side. This is picked off, and this could be a big play. Down to the 30, down inside the 20, and for the Rough Riders, bringing it back upfield, Michael Tellis, the left corner. There is also a flag at the end of the play.
Well, you got 4 seconds remaining, so the Roosevelt coaches are going to have to make a tough decision, even if the penalty is against Marcus. There's only 4 seconds, so if they only time for one play. Let's take a look. Now, Sanders, for some reason, there was either miscommunication. He was anticipating the receiver to break out, but he just threw the ball. There was no white jerseys anywhere near that particular pass. Now, there comes a play here, and there's Sanders making a tackle out of bounds there.
They call the late hit, and they will add some yardage, taking it down to the 11-yard line with 4 seconds to go in the first half.
Well, I would think they'd probably settle for the field goal. They're going to want to take a timeout, I think, and talk this over. You got to, if you're only going to have time for one play, do you want the 3 points to go ahead? You have the ball to start the second half. They'll have their choice and get the ball to start the second half. I think, if you can get ahead in a football game, this is the time to take the points.
Well, it is a tough decision now that Brian Dawson must face. But he comes up as his team has its second interception of the game. Chris Sanders threw that one basically out to a no-man's land area. There were only blue jerseys out there.
Yeah, he really did. Just as if he was anticipating someone to run a different route, but that was really a poorly thrown ball. And I think that Roosevelt is going to settle for the field goal here with only 4 seconds, and I think that's the proper thing to do. They've got the chance to go ahead, put them up 6-3, and always nice to be ahead in the football game.
Well, Jacob Rodriguez will try a 28-yard field goal, and this one will come from that left hash mark. Got a little bit of a wind at his back if he needed it. Again, this is not a long-range field goal try, though. For the lead at the end of the half. With a good kick that just veered left. He pulled it left. had enough leg on it and pulled it to the left side. And so the Marcus turnover is not cashed in by Roosevelt as they just miss here on the field goal try. High snap to start with.
Well, he just hooked it. He hooked it trying to get it up and get it out of there quick. Hooked it to the left. And it still was the right decision. I don't think there's any question that that was the right decision for Coach Dawson to make.
Jacob Rodriguez will head to the locker room knowing he led his football team down the field on one field goal drive, which he kicked, and then missed on the second opportunity, a chance to give the Rough Riders their first lead of the game. And as a result, they wind up settling for a share of the halftime lead. It's 3-3. And let's now go back down to Kevin Eschenfelder with a Gatorade sideline update.
All right, thanks a lot, Craig. So far, Coach, doing a good job putting pressure on the quarterback and covering well defensively.
Yeah, our defense has really come out and played and stepped it up. And, you know, we're doing things that we wanted to do. We just need to get in sync offensively, and we'll be all right.
As far as the ground game is concerned, you happy with the way you're running the football?
Yeah, I was real happy with the last series we had out there. So we'll get on track and get ready to go this next half.
Last thing you tell the kids before they come out here for the second half.
Hey, it's theirs if they want to go get it.
All right, Coach, good luck in the second half. All right, we send it back upstairs, Craig.
Brian Dawson says it quite simply. It's theirs if they want it. It's anybody's game right now. We've come to the end of the first half. First half statistics courtesy of the Texas Lottery.
Well, pretty even. 8 first downs for Marcus, 5 for Roosevelt. 63 rushing yards for Roosevelt, but 93 passing yards, 103 to 73. That's the big stat, though. The 2 turnovers. Chris Sanders going into this ball game and only throwing 9 interceptions all year long. He's thrown 2 the first half of this football game. Penalty-free ball game, but we've got a 3-3 tie, so that's where statistics should be fairly even.
Hugh Britton knows that the first turnover did not cost his team anything in terms of points. They did not give up any as Roosevelt could not capitalize. It was the second turnover, the interception by Michael Tellis, also not costing the Marauders anything, but it sure did give them a scare right toward the end of the half when they just missed on the field goal try.
Well, Roosevelt doing a great job of getting pressure on Sanders, basically with 4-man rush a lot of times. The up-front people there, Flowers and Missouri and McGowan and Stoltz is doing a good job, and they occasionally, when they have come with the blitz, has been very effective. They bring Robert Haynes, who they call the monster, off that backside corner, and Sanders had some trouble recognizing that. Roosevelt will get the ball to start the second half. Let's see what kind of adjustments both coaches made at halftime.
The fans certainly in the holiday spirit. Many who made the 5-hour drive down I-35 from the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex in support of Marcus. We're underway with a second half kickoff. It's fielded by Herring. And that's Shandy out over the 30 to the 32-yard line. Richard Shandy will set the Rough Riders up in good field position. They'll mark it at the 33, and that's where the Riders begin. Matt Hudson made the tackle for Marcus.
Well, one of these two football teams 24 minutes away from potential state championship.
Well, again, Brian Dawson said it's theirs if they want it, and I'm sure that Hugh Britton had some similar words for his Marauders. The Rough Riders operate from their 33. Jacob Rodriguez, the senior quarterback. And this is Haynes with running room. Terrell Haynes with a first down to the 46. A gain of 13 on the first play from scrimmage.
Boy, take a look at the lead block now. Watch the lead block by Shandy in there. Well, he just let in on that linebacker, did a great job opening up the hole for his buddy. As we said earlier, they're the 1-2 punch. They help each other blocking. Both of them are good runners.
Chris Prater makes the tackle, and it's first down, Roosevelt from the Rider 46. Haynes and Shandy, the running backs. It's Terrell Haynes one more time and out to midfield. Haynes for a gain of 4. Brought down by David Ellen, the sophomore linebacker. Chad Tinsley helping out. Roosevelt at 15-0 this year, just like Marcus. Big high point for them this season came when they beat Converse Judson, who of course went on to claim the 5A Division I crown a week ago at Texas Stadium, as the Riders won it 35-21 and went on to win the District 26 title. Here's Haynes one more time, and Haynes is about a yard shy of the first down, close to the 45. He picks up 5 more. Ellen makes the tackle for Marcus.
Haynes is doing a good job using the cutback lane. That play again was designed to go outside with good vision. He sees some openings and he's cutting back and picking up the yardage.
It is now 3rd down and a long yard to go. Roosevelt started the second half with possession, and they moved the football into Marcus territory. And straight ahead on the keeper, close to the first down. I don't know, depends on where they mark it. And Jacob Rodriguez appears to be short.
No, he didn't make it. He didn't get enough surge, or he kind of straightened himself up rather than went straight ahead and got down low. It's going to be 4th down. Well, Dawson's got a tough decision to make here. You want to go for it on 4th down?
In the first half, Brian Dawson had his team go for it. First down inside the 25, and they did not pick up the first down. Late in the first half, after the interception, he had time for one play from the 11-yard line. Chose to try the field goal. It went wide. And they will go for it again. 4th down, less than a yard for Roosevelt. Haynes for the first down and more. All the way down to the Marauder line. Terrell Haynes. Good blocks off the right side of the line.
Well, good surge by the offensive line. That's what it takes in those short yardage situations for that offensive line to just get off the line, get into their blocks, and just control that line of scrimmage. And right now, the Rough Riders are doing that.
You know, Ed, there was so much talk about Richard Shandy coming into this game, but Terrell Haynes has had a very solid game for the Riders.
Well, Haynes is a fine football player. He's just coming off that injury. Look at reverse.
They do come reverse. Back to Herring. Aubrey Herring down to the 35. A gain of 5 on the reverse. Tackled by Chris Prater. Mixing it up a little bit now is Roosevelt.
Pretty well played, though, by the defense. You don't pick up 5 yards on a reverse. When a coach calls a reverse, he expects it to be a long gainer. When you hang in there, and Prater does a good job making the tackle. So Marcus has to be well satisfied with that defensive play.
Herring, who was just carrying the football on the reverse, splits out as a receiver along with Gilbert Maldonado. Shandy one running back, and it's Shandy with the call inside the 30, and another Rough Rider first down to the Marcus 27. Richard Shandy this time picks up 8 more yards and a first down.
David Ellen a little bit unhappy here. David Ellen thinks he was held on this play. He's yelling at the players, but that's a pretty good block in there. Nothing wrong with that block, David. That just did an excellent job. Excellent job by Gus Schmidt, the center.
Had a good block on the linebacker, and it's first down, Riders. To the 27, here's Shandy again. Inside the 25, down to the 22, a gain of 5. Wes Gray makes the tackle. And now Roosevelt's doing it on the ground.
You have a feeling maybe at halftime Roosevelt said, hey, let's don't mess around with all this rollout passing and all this passing we did there in the first half. Let's go back to what we do best. Getting our offensive linemen into their blocks, controlling the line of scrimmage. They got a big offensive line. Trevino's 245 and Andrushuk is 225. Hunter 215. Good size in the offensive line.
Second down, 5 yards to go after the game by Shandy. This time it's Haynes for a couple. Atchison wouldn't let him get more than that. Maybe a yard down inside the 22, and it'll bring up 3rd down and 4. Another 3rd down situation coming up for Roosevelt.
I keep waiting for Rodriguez to not give that ball to those backs and roll out there on a naked reverse. I just think it has to happen one of these times. Looks like it might be there, might be able to. They call him. I think they'll have success with it.
Michael Baxter, a junior, has checked in as a flanker. Split out as a receiver on the option this time. Here's Rodriguez in jail. And it's going to be run out of bounds for a loss back at the 29-yard line. Lost 7 yards. Tad York chased him out of bounds, but he was one of several white jersey players to run him out. They marked it at the 28, so it's a 6-yard loss.
Well, they're trying to run down the line option, and again, they haven't really had success with that type of play, running to the outside. They've had their best success when they run with the lead block going inside and running plays inside, and the back will pick his hole or cut it back. Outside plays have not been successful. Big 4th down situation.
And with the breeze coming from the north, and it would be 46 yards at best, Brian Dawson says, why not go for it?
They're going to go for it.
4th down and 10, and Roosevelt will go for it. Screen back to Shandy, and he's got room. Richard Shandy is going to score. 4th and 10. Jacob Rodriguez to Richard Shandy, and the Rough Riders have the first touchdown of the 5A Division II Texas Bowl.
Well, they rolled out to the right through the screen pass, back to the left. Surprisingly, that Marcus defense wasn't really alert for pass type play on that situation. I think Hugh Britton is really unhappy with his defense. They played so well, but to give up an easy touchdown like that on a 4th down, not too happy from a coach's standpoint.
Rodriguez for the conversion. It's good. 7:06 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Richard Shandy, the biggest play of the game so far, turned by the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Rodriguez to Shandy for the score, and it's the Riders on top.
Eschenfelder with you, Gatorade Sideline Report. Hugh Britton on his way out from the locker room at halftime said two things, two major concerns. Defensively, he wanted to make it a personal battle. Beat your man, stay at home. They had trouble with that in the first drive. Offensively, it's very easy to figure out. Protect number 12, the quarterback, Chris Sanders. Back upstairs, guys.
Well, Kevin, they are certainly going to need to give Chris Sanders protection now so that he can bring his team from behind.
They really will. You're going to find out whether they've made the adjustment to the blitzes. And so far, they haven't really quite stopped the running game. The cutback has still been there, and that's the yardage that Haynes made on that drive, and of course capped off by the nice screen pass to Shandy at the end of the drive, 28-yard on 4th down play.
Kickoff coming now by Gilbert Maldonado. Eric Munn, the deep man for the Marauders. And he will not have a chance to return this one. Rolls into and out of the end zone, and Marcus operates from its own 20-yard line. Take another look at the touchdown here, Coach.
Well, Rodriguez is going to sprint out to the right. All the while he knows the screen is being set back up to the left. You see him throw it back there to Shandy, and see the lineman out in front. Missed tackle by Ellen there. Another good block downfield. Now he's going to put it into the end zone. But just a great job of setting the screen up. Good drive. 11 plays, 67 yards. Used almost 5 minutes off the clock.
Now Chris Sanders has the Marauders back in possession of the football. And the toss out to the 25-yard line to Stephen Ennis. Gain of 5. It'll bring up 2nd down and 5 Marauders. Michael Hunter on the tackle for Roosevelt.
This little toss play. See the big tackle. Brian Gaither pulling out the lead the play. Tried to get the kick-out block. Autumn cut up inside, and they did pick up a good 5 yards on that play.
On 2nd down, Fred McKinney is checked in as an additional wide receiver. Billy Miller is a flanker, and Aaron Wright in there as well, but it's a running play again to Ennis. Picks up 2, maybe 3, and the Rough Riders say they took the football loose, but the officials say it was after Ennis had hit the carpet.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to win that argument. A shot at Erik Flowers again was in on that tackle. Play designed to go inside. Nothing there. He tries to step it to the outside. You can see Flowers again playing off the block. Get some help from the Gardner. Looked like he might have had that football.
3rd down. A little over a yard needed for the 1st down. And it will be a Marcus 1st down. 3 straight plays on the ground to Stephen Ennis, and they have their first down of the 2nd half.
That time the offensive line really got off on the ball and got into the blocks a little bit crisper. One of the problems if you're a passing team, you got to teach those linemen to be top-notch pass blockers. So in pass blocking, your weight is back a lot of times. Run blocking, it's completely, totally different from pass blocking. Run blocking, you got to get that weight forward, and that's 2 different concepts. It's sometimes difficult to teach.
That was the first 3rd down conversion of the game for the Marauders. Marcus from its own 31. Reverse this time, and Aaron Wright wants to throw the football. And does, and this may be picked off, and it would have been but for the defensive play made by Fred McKinney, who will probably be called for pass interference offensively, but McKinney saved what looked to be a surefire interception by Abdul Williams.
Yeah, he really did. This is a great play by McKinney, even if he gets away for the penalty. Play was set up. They wanted to go 1 man downfield. Miller probably shouldn't have thrown the ball. McKinney comes back. Oh, I don't know about that call. He just came back and made a play on the ball. He just comes back and makes a play on the ball.
Might have been the right shoulder bumping Abdul Williams is what drew the flag.
Yeah, that's a ticky-tack call.
And the penalty will be marched from the 31. Offensive pass interference. You see the indication, and it is a loss of down.
Wow, that's a tough penalty.
10 yards back to the 21.
Coach Britton very unhappy about the call. I'm sure his coaches upstairs in the box upstairs saw the play and realized that was just a good play by McKinney. Give Fred McKinney a lot of credit for making that type of play.
Jason Luce in at one wide receiver. Marcus has been stung by the yellow flag 4 times. Only 2 penalties for 10 yards against Roosevelt. From the shotgun, and before the play gets started, the officials stop it.
Well, we had a well-played first half without the officials being too involved. Now let's see what's happening.
And Chris Sanders getting in his 2 cents worth until being ushered away. We've got 5 minutes, 22 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter. And they're moving it back. Of course, the penalty is a 15-yard penalty for offensive pass interference. I was wondering why it was only 10 yards marked back to the 21.
One of the officials finally was told by the coaches on the Roosevelt side that was supposed to be a 15-yard penalty. Give the Roosevelt coaching staff credit for being on the ball. They got that extra 5 yards.
And now on 1st and 25. Downfield, incomplete. Intended for Billy Miller. So it goes as an incomplete pass as Miller was on the deep route.
Greg, I'm telling you, Roosevelt's defensive secondary are doing a great job of coverage. Sanders did a good job of buying time, but no one was able to get open. They are staying with those receivers. They're doing their job. They're just saying, hey, the people up front, you've got to stop them. We're going to stay with the receivers if they go 50, 60, 70 yards downfield, even if it's a running play.
Marcus loads up 3 wide receivers at the bottom of your picture. And Sanders in trouble.
That's a fumble.
That's a fumble. Still loose on the carpet. And who came up with it? Looked like the Marauders did hold on to possession.
And once again, that's a coverage sack and recovery fumble. The defensive secondary just does a great job. And you see, he's got time. Now the pocket collapses. Guess who? Pretty easy. Erik Flowers again forced that fumble.
Flowers having an outstanding game today for the Rough Riders. 3rd and 25 for Marcus. As they move from their own 15-yard line. Sanders looking deep. 4 right. Who caught it? And it's a 1st down on 3rd and 25. Aaron Wright down to the 46-yard line. It's a pickup of 39 yards.
Well, what a great play and what a timely play for Marcus. Aaron Wright just ran down the field. Sanders knows he's going to go deep there, puts it up in the air. Wright makes a great catch, has to turn around, make the recovery, and makes the play. Big-time play there by the 6-foot, 170-pound senior.
Talk about getting your team out of a hole. Aaron Wright did just that. 1st and 10, Marcus. Football just shy of the Roosevelt 45. This time to Billy Miller. And a quick pass down to the 39, a gain of 6. Gardner on the coverage. Billy Miller, the inside receiver, on the catch.
Well, this time Wright clears out. Billy Miller comes down, breaks to the outside. Sanders drilled this one. That was the one you had to catch out of self-defense, hit between the 2 and the 4, and you better catch that one.
This looks a little more like the Marcus Marauder offense to which everyone is accustomed to seeing. 2nd down and 4. Sanders this time in trouble, throws it away. And they'll now bring up 3rd down and 4 needed.
Well, they keep moving Erik Flowers around. They move him from one side to the other. Whatever side he comes from, he just overpowers the offensive tackle. Look at that strength of coming in, knocking the blocker right back into the quarterback's face.
3rd down. And 2 receivers split on either side. Sanders has it batted down. And the Marcus offense being frustrated by that Roosevelt swarming defense. This time the ball batted away by Matt Stoles, the senior defensive tackle.
Well, just using a lot of bull rushes right now. Look at all of them just taking the offensive lineman, pushing them back in the face of the quarterback. That's just what you call a bull rush. Nothing fancy, nothing. They're just grabbing them by the shoulder pads and just say, hey, you're on skates. We're going to put you right back in the lap of the quarterback.
On 4th down and closer to 5 yards than 4 needed for the first down, the Marauders are going to go for it. Chris Sanders with the team. Under center now.
He's trying to draw him off sides. He's going to take the delay of the game penalty.
And that's exactly what will happen. Play clock runs out. And now the Marauders will punt on 4th and 10. Roosevelt, disciplined, holding their position on the line, not giving up the penalty.
Well, that's a tough call there now for Q Britton. A very tough call here. He was on the 39-yard line, and his team trails by 7 points, and he's going to turn it back to a team that just had a great drive down the field. And some people will say maybe he should have gone for it there and tried to pick up the first down, but he's elected to punt. This is a good position on the field. If you've got anything out of punt formation that you've scouted, looks like Roosevelt's pretty sound defensively.
Jason Luce prepares to punt. And this one goes sky high. Not a lot of depth on it. We'll see what kind of bounce it takes. Not much of a Marcus roll, but it does get down to the 15-yard line where it is spotted. And we've got a timeout. 3:41 remaining in the third quarter. Roosevelt with the lead over Marcus in the Texas Bowl. Makers of Plex and Blast, the superfoods. 5:41 to go here, third quarter. Jacob Rodriguez and the Roosevelt Rough Riders of San Antonio lead the Marcus Marauders of Flower Mound 10-3 here in the 5A Division II Texas Bowl. For the state championship, first down, Richard Shandy, who the last time touched the football on the receiving end of a 28-yard screen pass for the touchdown, and he picks up a couple here.
I think it's a big series for Marcus's defense. Roosevelt came out and did a great drive the first time they had their hands on the ball. Marcus defense allows Roosevelt to go down and get some points now. Then they'll really lay their ears back and go after Sanders.
On second down, Aubrey Herring flanks wide to the right side of the field. This time, good running room for Terrell Haynes up the sideline, and Haynes with a first down all the way out to the 43-yard line as he picks up 26 yards.
Hayes finally on his way, coming close to getting up near that 100-yard area. Let's take a good look now. Again, the good lead block. Shandy does an excellent job. Haynes gets that sideline, makes a little cutback, picks up the big yardage, and like I say, I think this is a tremendously huge series for Marcus defensively.
Well, they also will have to do it without senior inside linebacker Steve Smith, who's being helped off the field. Terrell Haynes getting close to 100 yards, as Coach told you. 92 on 13 carries. But now Marcus will have to go without one of its leaders on defense as Steve Smith is helped off the field.
And you got a feeling that the two big offensive tackles, Trevino and Andershook, and the lead blocking by Shandy has been very impressive. You almost kind of get the feeling that they're beginning to wear that Marcus defense down a little bit. The defense was right on there for 5 minutes to start of this third quarter, now right back out on the field again.
Riders operate from their 43. Haynes one more time. Turns it for a couple to the 45. They keep it on the ground and keep the clock moving. This is exactly what Brian Dawson wanted to see. And he wanted to see his team in control of the game, but also in control of the clock in the second half.
Well, what all coaches will say, and Brian told us to me, we talked down there before the ball game. You know, if the Roosevelt team is on the field, Sanders is on the sideline, he can't put points on the board standing on the sideline.
It's now second down and 8 from the 45. Just over 2 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Haynes again broke away from Webster's attempted tackle and then managed to get 2 yards before Charles Atchison wrapped him up.
They've done a good job the last 2 plays here now, not allowing Haynes to make the cutback. He's had real good success making some cutback plays when Marcus's defense would overrun. Now they've stayed at home and faced with a third down situation that could be important to him.
It is third down And a long 7 needed for a Roosevelt first down. 1:43 remaining in a fast-moving third quarter that has seen Roosevelt get the only touchdown of this game. Haynes and Shandy, the running backs. Rodriguez to throw with pressure coming. And no one to throw it to, so he'll throw it away. And on 4th down, Roosevelt will have to punt. Andy Brown offering pressure for the Marcus defense.
Well, that was a good series. That stop by Marcus is very, very important, especially when we're down under 2 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. This is only the second time they've had their hands on the ball here, the second half of the football game.
Ball control certainly a key to the Ryder success story. As Rodriguez prepares to punt, Mark Duffield awaits the return. A good kick. Duffield to field it at the 23. And about 7 yards on the return. Out to the 30-yard line. That's where Marcus will operate. Trailing by 7 points with 1:13 remaining in the third quarter. It's high school, and the band tries to get the Marauders fired up. It is the Riders who have the edge right now. Marcus operates 1st and 10 from its 30. Sanders with time, and he's got Wright who dropped the football. Aaron Wright in stride almost always makes that catch. He didn't make it that time.
Well, that's one of the few times they've kind of been man-to-man where someone got open. Wright is open. Sanders does a good job putting it away from the defensive back. Right on the fingertips. That's one that could have gone the distance. Would have been the equalizer. He had about a 3-step margin there. Would have been a great catch, but you have to make those catches in state championship games.
Marauders have connected on that combination time and time again this season. Sanders to throw again. This time over the middle for Miles Kuhn and a first down to the 49. Abdul Williams and Robert Haynes on the tackle for Roosevelt.
Sanders did an excellent job stepping up into the pocket. Flowers is going to come from the outside. He'll step up inside. See there, he was up underneath Flowers so he couldn't get to him. Good job of delivering. Good job of Kuhn of protecting the football. Kuhn's having quite a ball game here today.
And with that pass, it's out to the 49-yard line, and Chris Sanders has just become the all-time leading passer in Texas high school football history. Passing Lupe Rodriguez. And one-handed grab made by Billy Miller out at the 35-yard line. Finally shoved out by Gardner, but that goes for 16 yards. And this is a great one-handed grab by Billy Miller.
Won't see any better in college or pro than this one. Got him isolated one-on-one. That is looking for him all the way. There's a delivery. Watch the hand go up and bring it in. Good concentration by Miller. Boy, that was a great catch. Right there, good job.
Marcus on the march now inside the 35 of Roosevelt. Marauders spreading the field. 3 receivers to the right. And that's where Sanders wants to throw, but he's in trouble and throws it away. He was looking back to that right side where there were 3 receivers, all of whom were well covered.
Well, he's trying to run a crossing pattern. Watch the receiver down at the bottom there, coming the middle receiver going all the way across the field. That's the one he was looking for, hoping that it would get him in man-to-man. But the defensive safeties that time came up and gave some good help for it, for Roosevelt's defense.
2nd and 10 now for the Marauders. Wright is at the top of your picture. 2 more receivers at the bottom of the screen. Sanders throws, and this one inside the 25 for McKinney, and Fred McKinney is down to the 22-yard line. A gain of 13. Tellis made the tackle.
Sanders does a good job reading the blitz. You see the blitz linebacker there, 44 coming. Goes to the outside man who broke it quickly to the outside. Now they're first down. Now we've got a little rhythm in their attacks. This is the first drive that had some rhythm. Good catch by McKinney.
Again, the Marauders spread the field with receivers, 2 to either side of Sanders. And Sanders throws it away to the right side, away from the reach of McKinney and also of the coverage on the right. It'll bring up 2nd and 10, 16 seconds remaining in the third quarter.
Well, he's got to step up in that pocket. Missouri and Flowers, the two defensive ends who keep changing sides one side or the other based on the formation, they're really getting some great penetration upfield. So Sanders has to step up and look for the passing lane and hope that the offensive guards and center don't allow the interior penetration to get in his face.
On this second down, it is Flowers lining up on the short side of the field.
Well, he's going to call an audible. They're going to blitz her in man-to-man coverage. You can see it. I think he recognized the blitz is coming. Here comes Haynes. They picked him up this time.
And down the middle, it is caught for a touchdown to Billy Miller. Miller juggled it and held it. Sanders read the blitz. It goes for 22 yards, and the Marauders are an extra point away from tying it up.
Well, Roosevelt showed the blitz. Sanders read it. He called the audible. That's the same blitz where, remember, in the first half, Haynes came clean and made the play. Take a look at 41 coming up. This time the back comes across, picks him up. Good job by Eric Bunn to give Sanders time to get the ball to Miller for the touchdown. That's more like the Marcus passing attack that you anticipated seeing, Craig.
Two circus catches by Billy Miller on the drive help the Marauders get to their first touchdown, and we have a tie score. 9 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and the Marauders come right back down the field. A 70-yard touchdown drive. Here's another look at the score.
Well, there he is. Again, you get a crossing route going against blitz. Very difficult for that defensive back to stay with the man who's running across the field. Obviously, the key to that is the protection, so you can give him time. There's another look here. You can see he's got the time to wait for the receiver. He does a great job of leading Miller away from the defensive back. Miller, again, with good concentration, puts it to the house.
So with 1 quarter plus 9 seconds remaining, Chris Sanders has engineered his first touchdown drive of the day. 70 yards on that march for Marcus.
You know, he looks like a guard. He reminds me a little bit of the old-time quarterbacks. You know, Bobby Lane, Billy Kilmer, kind of got that little belly that hangs over that. He's done a good job. He's all fired up now. That's the first really rhythm they had in their passing attack. There's a scoring drive. 70 yards in 7 plays. And of course, when you're throwing the ball, it doesn't take long. 1 minute and 4 seconds. When you put that ball up in the air, and they got to stop the clock to move the chains, you can score quickly.
Well, the Marauders had to stop Roosevelt first defensively, which they did. And then that enabled the offense to take over on that drive. Sanders became the all-time leading passer in Texas. Here's the kick. Fielded at the 3-yard line by Shandy. And he gets out to the 16. And that's where Roosevelt will start with 3 seconds remaining, or the time has run out here in the third quarter. So we've come to the end of 3 quarters of the 5A Division II Texas Bowl, the state championship. And the score at the end of 3, the Marcus Marauders 10, the Roosevelt Rough Riders 10. You see 0 on the clock. The officials said, no, they shouldn't have run off those final seconds in the third quarter. So we do have 1 more play here in the third quarter. And it's Terrell Haynes who will try to make the most of it. Haynes for a first down out to the 37-yard line. Haynes goes 20 yards on that carry. Now we've come to the end of 3 quarters, Coach, and we're in a 10-10 ball game. I guess that's what you would expect in a state championship as we take another look at the run by Haynes.
Well, again, watch him cut back. Didn't try to take it to the outside. Good job by Haynes, looking for the tacklers, using good vision. Made a big play there at the end of the third quarter. But we still got a tie football game, and you know, it's kind of funny. Both staffs have had a chance to look at the defense. Both teams had a chance to adjust. Now we're starting to see a little bit of offense here in the third quarter. So 2 scores, and I would anticipate we're going to see some scoring here in the fourth quarter, Craig.
I think it was an important drive for Marcus to answer not only the Roosevelt touchdown drive of earlier in the quarter, but to give their offense some confidence after seeing the Rough Riders move the ball again, only to be stopped before Marcus set up shop to start the 70-yard march.
And with that running play there by Haynes, he now has 16 carries for 114 yards, so he goes over the 100-yard mark. That's not to be surprising. He had over 1,600 during the regular season before he suffered that knee injury. Missed 3 games, but he's coming back strong now.
Well, Roosevelt has beaten some powerful teams this season, among them Converse Judson, Austin Westlake, and they're trying to knock out a team that is nationally ranked. Of according to some polls. Marcus Marauders of Flower Mound. First play of the fourth quarter. Shandy out of the 40 to the 41, a gain of 4. Tackled by Robbie Gillum, the Rover. It'll be 2nd down and 6.
And that play over big Abel Trevino, 245-pound right tackle. Amazing the size of some of these high school players.
Training methods being a little bit different. They are growing bigger and faster and stronger now.
Better nutrition.
And 2nd down, 6 yards needed for the first. The tight end Elsie started right and then lined up left. And this is Haynes again with a block. Haynes close to another Roosevelt first down. Good blocking on that left side.
Well, they went to a one-back attack, and this is one of the few times we've seen them in a one-back attack. There's only one back there. Well, usually he has the lead blocker. This time they had the extra receiver split out. They had 3 receivers split out wide, and they had pretty good success for that. 3rd and short again.
Tapley Holland and Charles Atchison on the Marcus tackle. 3rd down and 1 needed for the first. Haynes. I don't know if he got that. He was hit by David Ellen. And Ellen might have kept him. And Steve Smith, who was back on the field as well. Those inside linebackers teaming up, and it's not enough for the first down.
Boy, now you talk about tough decisions. Hey, you're in your own territory. It's a tie ball game. You're going to find out now whether he's going to go for it in his own territory. 4th down call. Boy, here is a huge.
Gilbert Maldonado brings in the play as Hugh Britton says stop him to his defense.
Brings the stadium to their feet. Both sides are standing now.
4th and a yard to go for Roosevelt. And enough for the first down by Haynes to midfield. And into Marauder territory. 5 yards picked up when 1 was needed on 4th down.
Well, he rolls right behind Trevino and Hunter, and Gus Schmidt, the offensive center, did a good job getting off on the count and getting into the defensive lineman.
Clock moves inside, 10 minutes to play.
That's a gutty call by Dawson.
Aubrey Herring, 1 split receiver, along with Michael Baxter. This time it's Haynes to the right. Haynes stood up by Gillum, and they will mark him down at about the 46. Gillum and Steve Smith teaming up on the tackle for Marcus. They'll give him 4 yards on the carry, and it's 2nd down and 6.
Plays being shuttled in and out by the coaching staff. Rodriguez comes over and gets the play from the sideline, goes back in the huddle.
Jacob Rodriguez has had a solid game today. Has not made any plays to hurt his team, but has made some to help them. On 2nd and 6. Shandy with the block from Haynes. Shandy with a first down to the Marcus 38-yard line. Atchison finally wrapped him up. But Richard Shandy showing some strength on this run.
Does a good job of looking. Look, he's on his eyes. See him keep looking the blockers, looking for the defensive players. Finally makes a decision. When he makes that decision, now he lowers his shoulder and goes forward to pick up all that extra yardage. But both these backs do a great job of using their eyes to find the hole.
Roosevelt continues the impressive march. With Shandy getting the call again. Into the middle goes Shandy for a gain of about 4 inside the 34-yard line. Shandy brought down by Wes Gray, the safety. And Richard Shandy now starting to add up the numbers rushing, along with Terrell Haynes, who has topped 100 yards today.
Pound, pound, pound.
Shandy's up to 55 on 15 carries. You see there, trying to get closer to being on track for their season average. Here's Haynes, and another first down as Haynes slices through the Marauder defense down to the 28-yard line. Holland made the tackle, but Terrell Haynes has moved it. It looks like they may have to measure here, but this is a nice run by Haynes.
Well, good job by Tommy Brooks. Got one block and got up, tried to get another one, and George Andrushuk, the offensive tackle and guard, on that left side of the ball.
They may have to measure, and they will bring out the change to see if it's enough for another Roosevelt first down.
I think they got this one.
It is so close, but close enough for a first down for the Rough Riders with 7:51 remaining now, and Brian Dawson taking a look at the clock, knowing his team is that far away from claiming its first ever state football championship. But first, they've got to break the tie.
Brian making those calls like an old offensive lineman. Free agent with the Oilers and played with the Gamblers. His offensive lineman loved to pound that ball and control it up front.
Rodriguez this time gets to Shandy. Shandy breaks a tackle down to the 21-yard line, and Shandy goes for 7 more before Smith can finally make the tackle. And the Roosevelt offensive line starting to move that Marcus defense back.
Well, they're doing a good job. He does a good job again, Shandy, right now of looking for the block, finds the block, and cuts right off the tail of the blocker to pick up that yardage. Get that momentum going forward. And you know, this Marcus defense has spent a tremendous amount of time on the field. And for some reason, when you're on the field defensive, it seems like it wears you down a little bit more than it does offensively.
Less than 7 minutes remaining. It's second down and about 4 needed. Shandy this time tacklers is Haynes. Haynes down to the 10-yard line. Terrell Haynes broke off 2 tackles early. Perhaps should have been stopped at the line of scrimmage and was not. And another TR first down.
Well, it's a tired defense out there now. When you see people doing this, you're going to see Webster. There's a miss right there. Miss by Webster. A couple more misses there. When you see your defensive players do that from a coach's standpoint, you know they're a little bit tired.
6:40 remaining in the clock moving. And Roosevelt on an impressive march. From the Marauder 11, Shandy's turn. Down to the 7-yard line goes Shandy. A gain of 4.
And again, they're taking time off that clock. And as we said earlier, Sanders can't put points on the board when he's over there talking to his coaches.
Second down and about 6 needed. They can pick up the first down, can the Rough Riders, without scoring a touchdown. As we tick closer to the halfway point of the final quarter, 6 minutes to play.
Maldonado brought this play in from the sideline.
One receiver, Maldonado. The other receiver is Herring. Shandy and Haynes, the running backs. Richard Shandy with blocking to the 5, to the end zone, and a Rough Rider touchdown, his second of the day for Richard Shandy. And the ground game for Roosevelt is showing the way.
Well, again, I think the fact that they run the ball so much, and that defense is defense is just tired. Marcus's defense has spent a tremendous amount of time on the field, time of possession, highly slanted in favor of Roosevelt, and that will wear a defense down.
On for the conversion now. Out of the hold of Michael Baxter, Rodriguez to try to make it a 17-10 game. That he does. 5:43 remaining. Roosevelt has the answer to the Marcus scoring drive with one of their own. Richard Shandy takes it to the end zone, and the Riders now lead it 17-10. Felder for another Gatorade sideline update.
Just wanted to give you an opportunity to take a look at the hat and the t-shirt, which Prime Sports is making available from the Texas Bowl. As far as the t-shirt, Prime Sports logo on the front, Texas Bowl on the back. You can give them a call at 1-800-804-PRIME. This, by the way, is Kim. Kim, say hi to your mom and dad.
Hi, Mom. Hi, Dad.
All right, and the best thing about this, first 5 people to order, Craig Way and Ed Biles will personally deliver it to their homes, back upstairs.
That's nice to know that. Kevin's really in the giving mood here.
Oh, yeah, as long as he doesn't have to do anything.
Here's the kickoff coming by by Maldonado. Wright let it go out of bounds. So it did go out of bounds. We have 5:43 to go here in the third quarter, and here in the fourth quarter. And Coach, I was thinking about that third quarter when Roosevelt took the football there in the waning seconds of the third quarter, and they take more than half of this final quarter on that touchdown drive.
Well, they're taking 6 minutes and 17 seconds, and that's really a killing type of drive. You go into the fourth quarter, you're talking about tie football, and all of a sudden one team takes the ball and hangs on to it for 6 minutes and 17 seconds of that quarter. Wears your defense down. Even if Marcus comes back and scores quickly, that Marcus defense has just spent too much time out there.
In the second half, Roosevelt has kept the football for 13 minutes and 41 seconds compared to 4:36 for Marcus.
Well, I didn't know those numbers, but that's exactly what I've been sitting here talking about the last couple of 3 minutes. That's what happens, and well, that's a killing type drive because that defense of Marcus has to be tired, they're worn down, and the other team, from that standpoint, Roosevelt's offensive line says, let's get back in there. Let them score. We want to take the ball again and drive it down their throats. That's just the way offensive linemen think, and they've got that offensive mentality, so they've gotten that from their coach.
The Marauders will step back and wait for Roosevelt to re-kick the football after the 5-yard penalty when the kickoff went out of bounds.
Now Marcus's rushing defense has only given up 153 yards per game. Haynes himself right now has got 127, and Shandy has got 72, so they're way above the average what they normally give up on the running game.
This is a great kickoff after a 5-yard penalty, and again the reverse on the kick.
He's open.
And this time it's out to the 17-yard line for Bunn on the fake, and that's where Marcus operates.
Well, that was so good at fake me. I thought he had it to the guy going over to the other side, and they kept it, went right straight up the middle that time.
The Riders the only ones who were not faked out just then, and they'll mark it is at the 16-yard line.
Well, take a look here. I thought he gave the ball to the
now who did you think
guy
had it?
Coming from the right. I thought the guy coming from the right was going to get it, but he didn't give it to anybody. He just kept it, went straight up the middle.
Marcus starts 84 yards away from the goal line, trailing by 7 from the shotgun for Sanders. And Sanders in trouble, incomplete. Pressure all over him as he tried to get the ball to right, and Erik Flowers has been there all day long.
Well, right back to that bull rush. This again is a bull rush. Watch from the left side of your screen. Flowers will just take his offensive lineman, drive him right back in the lap of Sanders, and then get maybe a little pop in the back of his shoulder.
2nd and 10 Marauders. 5:32 remaining in the game. 2 receivers split to either side. Sanders to throw again for Wright, and he's got it in a first down at the 28-yard line. And we'll see exactly where they mark it. Is closer to the 27, 11 yards in the first down. Kendrick Patterson on the coverage.
I guarantee you this, if they can give Sanders protection, he will take the ball and move it down the field and put points on the board. But the key to this entire drive will be his protection.
McKinney splits out as one deep receiver, and again 2 receivers to either side of the field for Chris Sanders. And will the protection be there? Sanders has to run, something he does not do very well, but he does get it out to the 35-yard line. It's a gain of 7. Nice run for a guy they say is not the fleetest of foot.
Well, obviously he doesn't like to run the football. He's 6'1", 220-pounder. Most guys that size are offensive guards, but he does a good job throwing the ball.
Chris Sanders was a guy who did not attract much attention as the playoffs started from recruiters, despite his gaudy passing numbers. But in the playoffs, the Division I recruiters have taken a second look at this game youngster who has led his team to the state championship round. This time it's incomplete, and Sanders passed too wide for Billy Miller.
Yeah, and he knew he threw it. He knew he threw it poorly as he threw it. He just kind of hit himself on his head that time.
Now it's 3rd down, and a long 3 needed for the first with 4:33 remaining in the game. Hugh Britton knows there's not that much time remaining for his team.
This big 3rd down play. Big 3rd down play. They can't afford to give the ball back to Roosevelt the way that running game is going for Roosevelt. They could run out the clock.
The Marauders have only converted 25% of their 3rd down opportunities. Sanders, the quick pass to Miller for the first down, and Billy Miller has it out to the 47-yard line. 13 yards on the quick pass. Williams and Haynes make the tackle Robert Haynes, that is, along with Abdul Williams for the Riders.
Good job by the whole offensive team. Good protection, good route run by Miller, good clean out by Wright, who cleaned it out, made him think he was going deep. Miller was able to come outside underneath that and pick up the first down. Well executed, well thrown by Sanders.
Marlon Lucky has hobbled off the field. And on first down, Roosevelt gets Adam Parker, a sophomore, in at the inside linebacker spot to replace Marlon Lucky. Sanders on the scramble and the throw, and it's caught for another Marauder first down. This one to Miles Kuhn, the tight end, down to the 36-yard line. Tellis on the tackle, 18 yards as Sanders coolly delivers the pass.
Well, he does a great job. He's really pressured by Marcus, and again, it shows the coolness that he has. You'll see the pressure come in, and watch him step up underneath it, buys extra time, allows time for the receiver to get open. That's how Kuhn was able to get open down there.
Another first down to the 35-yard line of Roosevelt with 4:05 remaining in the game and the clock moving.
Well, they're in man-to-man blitz coverage situation. There comes the linebackers.
And it's a toss to Bunn, and he'll go down as the linebackers came in to grab Eric Bunn, and they dropped the senior running back Michael Hunter in, along with help from the defensive tackle Matt Stoles.
Well, Hunter did a great job of recognizing the toss right away. Well, they're in the blitz. West 30 come upfield here. So he was in a blitzing situation, but he recognizes the fact that the offensive tackle, Keith Moore, the guard, pulled out of there to lead that play, so there was a big hole for him to come up underneath and make the play.
Second down and 12, a 2-yard loss, 3.5 minutes remaining. Sanders under pressure, throws it up for grabs, and it gets out of bounds. Wright actually caught it, but he caught it out of bounds. And now it brings up third down and 12 with 3:22 to play.
Well, that's, again, we're talking about the pressure, and that's the way he can stop quarterback. You see, he's in the shotgun. He's back. He's got to have pressure right now. He tries to buy a little time, but he's got nowhere to go. Throws it out of bounds. And look at Wright. Try to go up and make a great circus catch.
Third down and 12.
Well, they're in 2-down territory. They'll be forced to go for it on fourth down here if they don't make it on third.
Receivers flanked to either side. Sanders down the middle for Wright. He makes the catch and launches the football. It's still loose on the carpet, and the Rough Riders are going to get possession. The fumble goes to Roosevelt at the 23-yard line. And it's Robert Haynes, the monster back, who comes up with the recovery.
There he's got it. Gets right away. What a great play. What a great hit.
And it really scrambled around before Haynes fell on the football. A huge turnover, and Roosevelt is just 3-12 away from winning its first ever state championship, holding on to the football, and a 17-10 lead here in the fourth quarter. And now the Rough Riders will try to kill the clock. Rodriguez.
They finally caught it.
Steps up, and the officials stop play. And we've got a timeout. With 3:12 remaining in the game, the Rough Riders of Roosevelt lead the Marcus Marauders 17-10.
Inside every one of us is an athlete with a thirst for the game going on around us. It's life. And if you play hard at it, you get thirsty. That's why we make Gatorade. Hey, life is a sport. Drink it up.
And Bands, Tuesday, 7:30 on Prime Sports.
Drexler on the drive. Oh, he slammed it home. Clyde Drexler.
Roosevelt operates from its own 23-yard line after the Marauder turnover with 3:12 remaining. Sanders is hoping the Marcus defense can get him the opportunity to have the football one more time. Terrell Haynes has other ideas as he takes it out to the 25 and a pickup of 2.
Well, now Marcus is going to use their timeouts early. They can't afford to wait till the end to use it. I think they're going to call one. They called one right immediately.
They just did take one with exactly 3 minutes remaining in the game. We've got a timeout. Roosevelt leads Marcus 17-10.
Did you know that there are 30,134 pimples on a basketball? Or the common shoe size among the NBA players is 15? TNT knows because every Tuesday and Friday night we've got the NBA covered. In fact, while 97% of NBA players have never been in a shoe commercial, 100% will be on TNT this season. And that's why
nobody knows the NBA like TNT.
The NBA on TNT is brought to you locally by North Star Dodge.
Vincent Ingram Park Mazda will show you a new way to buy a new car or truck. Get $3,500 customer cash back on a new Mazda, or use your $3,500 as a down payment. That's $3,500 from Vincent Ingram Park Mazda to use as your down payment. Or grab some passion with up to $8,600 off MSRP on our new Mazdas. And get this, 0 down delivers with no payment until Valentine's Day. Just exit Loop 410 at Calabria and look for the dealer that saves you money. Vincent Ingram Park Mazda.
The Marauders have 2 play stoppages remaining. It is second down and 8 yards to go for the Roosevelt Rough Riders. Shandy picks up 4 tough yards out to the 30. Marcus uses timeout number 2. Now it brings up 3rd down and 3. This is a big 3rd down coming up here.
Well, no question. Obviously, this is the big 3rd down because if they don't make it on this 3rd down, they would be forced to punt. But if they do make it, with Marcus having used 2 of their timeouts, why it'll be awful difficult for Marcus to stop them.
The Marauders certainly have the offense that can work in a 2-minute drill, because a lot of times when they're out there, it looks like a 2-minute drill.
Well, that's most of what their attack primarily is, but this is going to be a big, big stop for their defense. An interesting call now to see what both coaching staffs come up with from a defensive call standpoint and the offensive call standpoint. But this is a huge play right now.
Of course, this Texas Bowl game, one of 2 Class 5A Texas Bowl. Converse Judson, just up the road, won the Division I title last week. If Roosevelt wins, it'll be a clean sweep for the greater San Antonio area.
Well, how about those ball games? How about old Sealy winning that championship last night, 21-20 over Converse?
Holding on for dear life.
Well, that Converse went for the 2-point conversion with like 50 seconds to go in the game. I wonder if they hadn't agreed to. What if they agreed to the co-championship or not?
They decided they were not going to. Steve Weinweaver didn't want a share of it. On 3rd down, they hand off to Shandy. Breaks 1 tackle, and he's brought down short. And the Marauders use their final timeout, and Roosevelt will have to punt with 2:41 remaining in the game. So the Marauders will get the football back with less than 3 minutes remaining, but they'll get possession of the ball following the Roosevelt punt. We'd like to remind you that Prime Sports covers football recruiting from coast to coast. Every Saturday morning at 9 o'clock, you can catch the College Football Recruiting Show, followed by Countdown to Signing Day at 10 o'clock. Find out who's going where with these shows every Saturday morning right here on Prime Sports.
I'll tell you one thing, Coach. That Roosevelt team does not like to give up the football. Players want to go for it. They're on 4th down on their own 31-yard line with a 7-point lead.
And Q Britton is hoping that his team can move the ball without any timeouts.
Well, you can control the ball offensively a lot better than you can defensively. You know, you pick up a 1st down, the clock stops, you can get up there, you can down the ball to stop the clock, you can get out of bounds to stop it. So he used, Q Britton did a good job of using his timeouts. Of course, his defense responded and stopped them, but they're going to get an opportunity now. About 2 minutes and 35 seconds they'll have to work the clock at the end of the game here.
Punt coming now from Jacob Rodriguez. Mark Duffield awaits the return. Pressure coming. Kick by Rodriguez, a good one. Takes quite a bounce, and it's fumbled and picked up by Roosevelt. And the Rough Riders have the turnover that should propel them to a state championship. Abdul Williams comes up with the recovery, and Roosevelt has the football back.
Well, that's the old song, turn out the lights. That's a huge play. Doesn't give himself a team. He looked up, took his eye off the ball, wanted to make a big play. He was trying to get something, wanted to get something started, but he's got to catch the football first. A huge play right there. And now Marcus with no timeouts. 2:30 to go. They need about 1 first down, and might be hard for Marcus to stop them under these circumstances.
Roosevelt from the Marauder 25. Marcus cannot stop the clock. And Rodriguez on the carry, brought down. He did stay in bounds. That certainly is paramount from the Roosevelt perspective. And he takes that one all the way down inside the 20 to the 19-yard line.
You got an injured player, Marcus player down on the sidelines.
Well, the clock will stop there, as there is an injured Marauder on the field. You know, Coach, you were talking about Seeley winning by a point. Of course, in a state championship game, the coaches can agree to waive the co-championship rule and go ahead and let penetrations and first downs decided, but it's almost never done that way. They almost always say we'll share the state title, and the coaches had agreed to share it if it ended in a tie. But Steve Lineweaver, the Commerce coach, his team a huge underdog going into that game with Seeley, came back from a 21-7 fourth quarter deficit and decided, what the heck, let's go for 2.
They had made the agreement that if they kicked the extra point, it's a tie ball game, that it would have been state championship.
The coaches can agree on that before the game, and they had, and these coaches here have agreed on that.
Yeah, I knew the coach here had. I didn't know where that happened last night. Boy, it's a tough call for the coach for Commerce. He's going to get second guessed a little bit. Big ball game tonight.
I think in his case that's a gutsy call because again, Commerce, a huge underdog to a team that won 31 in a row, and they came back from a 2-touchdown deficit. Go for broke, why not?
Well, I can take the other side of the head and say, boy, you deprived your team of a state championship, a co-state championship. That's a lot better than saying you didn't do it. So that's one of the points you can really discuss and talk about, Craig.
One point you can definitely make here is that Terrell Haynes has just given Roosevelt the first down they need to wrap up the state championship.
Big ball game at the Astrodome in Houston this evening. Lamarck, well, they're playing this afternoon down there.
They just kicked off a few minutes ago. The 4A state championship, Lamarck and Denison underway in the Dome. And the 2A state championship, I'm going to zip back up to the Metroplex and call that one on radio tonight. Salina and Alto.
That's at 7:30 tonight at Texas Stadium in Irving.
That'll be a lot of fun. And the 1A state title, Thorndale trying to go for the repeat in Brownwood tonight against Roscoe's Plowboys. Down to one knee goes Rodriguez. The clock will run at 15. While we have the opportunity, I want to take the opportunity to thank Jerry Comalander and the good folks from the Northeast ISD, San Antonio Independent School District as well. Folks down here for making it all work for us. Thanks also to my crew here in the booth. Spotter Kurt Norman, statistician Brian Sperry. Of course, Kevin Eschenfelder braving the chilly temperatures on the sideline today. He looked pretty warm, though.
Well, I'm sure he had long johns and ear muffs and gloves.
Rodriguez goes down again, and the clock moves, and Roosevelt needs to snap it only one more time, and the fans of the blue and white know they. TR is going to get its first ever state title. And how about this for the greater San Antonio area? They claim not one, but 2 state championships.
Well, Roosevelt can claim the big deal because they beat Converse Judson during the regular season.
Brian Dowson gets doused with the Gatorade, and that's going to do it. It's a championship for the Roosevelt Rough Riders, their first ever in football, and they win it at the rock pile, beating the Marcus Marauders 17-10. Quite a moment, and what a job turned in by that man, Brian Dawson.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you what, every youngster out on that field, long as he lives, this is a moment they will never forget. They'll remember it. They'll talk about it for the rest of their lives.
And some of the Roosevelt players have gone to the other end of the field to take down the M from the rock pile.
That's the excitement and exuberance of high school football. You don't see that at the collegiate level and the pro level. And what a excited, what a great job the coaching staff of both these teams. Tough loss for Q Britain's team. 15-0 came a long way. Just 3 turnovers hurt them.
Well, when we come back, we'll have our post-game coverage. The state championship goes to Roosevelt. The Rough Riders beat the Marcus Marauders.
Coach, congratulations. Obviously, incredible. 5-5 a year ago, and what a dream season, 16-0.
Yeah, hey, all the credit goes to those kids. They worked hard in all season. They worked hard in the summertime, and they set their goals out, and they went out and didn't let anybody tell them they couldn't do it. And they went out and they achieved what they believed. I'm sorry.
Coach, the difference today, defensively, a team that's really not been able to be stopped all year long, and you were able defensively to get pressure on the quarterback, plus cover in the defensive backfield.
Yeah, you're right. Our defense has played strong all year long, and that was our strong point. And we hung our head on defense, and we went out and played today. This is our hometown, and we want to represent our school well and our district well, and I'm so proud of our kids for doing that.
How big was it playing here at Alamo Stadium?
Oh, tremendous. It was tremendous. You couldn't ask for a better setup.
Christmas going to get any better than this?
Hey, this is all I wanted for Christmas, and I got it.
You got it. Congratulations, Coach.
Hey, thank you.
All right, let's take it back upstairs. Craig Way.
All right, thank you very much, Kevin. 17-10 as Roosevelt claims its first ever 5A state championship. They win the Division II Texas Bowl, and of course they had a couple of key players in the game, and probably no player more key offensively anyway for Roosevelt than Terrell Haynes, who gets our Performance Nutrition Prime Performance Award. 24 carries, 152 yards.
Well, I think they did it the old-fashioned way, Craig. They did it with very, very strong defense. The defensive performance was outstanding, holding Marcus to only 10 points. They did it with the running game. They did it with a tremendous play by their offensive and defensive line. Those people in the trenches don't usually get the recognition that they should have, but again, I think they went the old-fashioned way with just good, hard work, running game, defensively stuffing the offensive line of Marcus.
What a job Erik Flowers did in leading the defensive assault on the front line for Roosevelt.
Well, exactly right. He could have been the most valuable player. And on the other hand, you got to give Marcus a lot of credit. Hey, 15-0 to get the state championship game, and that's what Q Britton is telling his squad down there right now. That's the runner-up the state championship. He's very proud of them. He's proud of what they accomplished. He's telling them not to get their head down, to go home and be proud of what they have accomplished this season.
Well, the consolation goes on the end. It is celebration here in San Antonio for the Rough Riders of Roosevelt High School. TR claims the championship. There's Terrell Haynes. What a big performance he had this afternoon. The Riders are the 5A Division II state champions. They win it by a final count of 17-10. And we'll have more coming up right after this.
The Texas Bowl on Prime Sports, brought to you by the Gatorade Company. If you're living life to the fullest, you're gonna get thirsty. That's why you need Gatorade Thirst Quencher. Life's a sport. Drink it up. By Farmers Insurance, because America can depend on farmers. By the Texas Lottery, play the game of Texas. And by Performance Nutrition of Dallas, makers of Plex and Blast, the superfoods.
From Alamo Stadium, they played at home throughout the playoffs, and they win the 5A Division II state championship in front of an enthusiastic crowd here at Alamo Stadium this afternoon. They win it 17-10 over the Marcus Marauders. Final thoughts, Coach?
Well, I think it was a great football game. We've had 2 great state championship football games here. It's kind of a shame that 2 teams have to lose, as both Odessa and Marcus did. But the winners go the spoils. And I'll tell you one thing: those Roosevelt players are enjoying that walk down the sideline. They're showing it. Excellent ball game.
It's a great year for football in San Antonio as they claim both state titles. We'd like to